You're now listening to the Shameless Goat.
The Shameless Goat.
The Shameless Goat.
It's a segment we like to call So They Say. We talked about it at the beginning of the show, and it looked like the fellas had a lot to say about it. Fighting love is not that easy, right? And it's especially hard in this economy. And guess what? Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. A study by Cornell University found that the country's declining marriage rate is due to the lack of financially eligible bachelors. Women are actually outpacing men with education, and this is changing the age-old mentality that men are the breadwinners. In turn, the gig or small gigs economy and lack of good jobs out there have left the ladies single and disgruntled. And researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, a man who...
Dating down.
Really? All right.
Oh, right.
What researcher would use the term dating down in their published study? That's bullshit.
That's a good point. Welcome everyone to Shameless Ghost Gang.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
All that. All right, so this came across our desk the other day, and we found it interesting. Just the idea of dating down, what that means to men, women, and relationships. What's your first impressions when y'all heard that clip?
I mean, happy for all the ladies getting education and getting money. This idea of dating down, I mean, the research, I don't know. I want to see the study. I don't think researchers are going to say that it's a struggle for dating down. That sounds like something an opinion person would say, not a research paper.
Fair?
Go ahead, you take it.
No, you go ahead.
Nah, I don't know. I'm still thinking about this one.
Yeah.
I just think it's an interesting topic. It's a shame that I think you only hear these conversations in the black community.
Facts.
Also,
But you don't have ears in the white community.
I mean, it's not something. I mean, we have social media. Everybody's on social media. It's always black women on these having these conversations. So, I mean, yeah, it's just something that I think they're using to divide our people.
Did she say black women, or she just said women in general?
It was a black woman who said it, and when you listen to the entire clip, you see that she's the only one saying that. The white woman on the clip is not agreeing with it. The white man is not agreeing with it, and neither is a black man. It's just a black woman saying it.
Was that statistics for black people only, or was it for all people?
It was for all people.
Okay.
But yeah, I do agree with Mike there. In the full clip, it's the black woman sets it up. She's the one who's talking. There's a black man on it, and two white woman. And we're not gonna play the full thing, but in the full thing, you hear them. The black man and woman are the only two white women. The rest of them are just like, I don't know.
No, but even in the end, the white man is like, yeah, I wouldn't say that. And even the white woman, she tried to help the black woman, but she was like, yeah, I don't know if I would consider it that. So yeah, it's essentially the black woman saying, yeah, because we're dating down.
The guy said, so when the man was the breadwinner and he was dating a woman who has less money than him, was that dating down for the man?
That's what he says.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
So it's acceptable for a man to date down, but a woman has to date up, or if she dates, it's called dating down for her towards the man, but for her it's just cool when she does it.
What do y'all think about the idea of dating up or down, or just the idea of dating someone who's not on your quote level or your quote status?
I think you got to find someone that matches your personality. It's not just finances. I mean, you can have the same finances. That don't mean you two are going to get along well.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm saying, okay, larger than that. Do you think it's possible that you can date someone who's down? Who's considered down?
I think down would make it seem like the person's broke. Yeah, I mean down.
If I'm dating someone, like for instance, I dated a chick in Atlanta. She made $300,000 a year.
Yikes!
I didn't even make 100. So in her sense, she dated down, but she would never call it that, because I remember we had a conversation, and the topic came up: if you make 100 and your man makes 30, how does that work? And she says, well, shit, that means we got 130 together, right? Which is more than what I had, which is more than what he had. And that's just the mindset I think you should have as a couple, is that as long as you're bringing something, it's more than what I already had.
Yeah, I think the news anchor asked a good question. Like, why was it considered dating down now that the women are making more money? So I think it's the phraseology, it's the phrase, the term, or whatever you want to call it. Like when you say dating down, it make the other person look lesser than when you're talking about the quality of that human being. Now, to your question about would you do it? No.
Do you think it's that imbalance exists where one is up and one is down? Where like if I tried to date Rihanna, which she wouldn't go for me because she probably see me as down. Or Rihanna is an extreme example, but you get what I'm saying?
But I think it only makes sense in extreme examples. Like if you're talking about regular people, I don't know if it. Now I'm like, what's regular people? But I don't know if we want to define it or not. I don't know. Like
celebrities,
like non-celebrities,
people who go to work, most days out of the week. Like
I mean, it really just what you going for? Like, how do you want to live your life? Like, do you want somebody that could also finance that if you can't? Because I think that's a good question. Like, if you want to buy a house, like, am I going to be the only person paying for this house?
But I think if both want to, whoever, I don't give a fuck, just live there and be happy. But to me, like what she also said was like the women are feeling frustrated with this research showing dating down phenomenon.
Yeah, fake research.
They weren't frustrated when the man buying everything. Now that they got money, they're frustrated.
I think
they got more money and more frustration. They're confused.
I feel like the term dating down, why it might maybe resonate with the women studied here or the people, is that because if you date a man, let's say, who makes less than you, for example, then that's not a quote real man, because he doesn't provide that.
He's not a provider.
Yeah, provider X, Y, and Z. So you gotta lower your expectations of being with that kind of quote man.
So this is my issue with that, right?
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just
at the end of the day, no, I get it.
Is she a dime?
That's a good question too.
No, so this is my issue with that.
All right, that nigga lowered his expectations.
This is my issue with the whole statement. When women ask for equal rights, equal opportunity, equal, pay, all those things. A lot of what happened was you had a workforce that consisted of predominantly men. When women started asking for equal rights, that pushed some men out of that realm where they were no longer working in those environments anymore. You get what I'm saying? If we got 100 jobs and those jobs consisted of 85 men and only 15 women, and now you're starting to allow women to come and work in that same workforce, now it's 50-50. You get what I'm saying? Which means that a lot less men are actually working in that workforce, so they had to find other things to do. You asked for equal rights, equal pay, all that. But you didn't want the equal responsibility. Like, my thing is, you get what I'm saying? Like, there should be, you can't ask for the benefits without the
other side.
The other side of it.
She also said like how the ladies are getting educated. They're waiting longer to marry and have kids.
That doesn't affect anybody but you. Like, that's gonna be you when you finally meet a man and he's like, "Damn, you can't have kids. You 38."
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't help your case.
Yeah, I know I've heard of some women who get to that point and then the guys don't want them and they're hurt.
I know somebody personally who told a chick, "You got to get pregnant before we get married."
Yeah, I heard that story.
I want to make sure you can get pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
That
doesn't help your case.
There's people like that.
Tough.
That's tough.
There's people like that. They want to make sure they can have a child, and now you're high risk.
And if you can give him, you can only give him one. He wants a legacy.
He wants a family.
You know what I'm saying?
A legacy.
The best thing a man can give you is his last name. The best thing you can give a man is legacy, children. And if you can't do that because you've been trying not to date down,
or she was working on her degree and going to graduate school, and I don't know, maybe traveling, and
chasing a bag.
Or chasing a bag and a career. Now you got a career. Be happy. You have a career. Be happy. Because it's funny. She said they got more education and they got more frustration. You got your career and you got more frustration. You wanted to be like a man and make money and you got more frustration. Bitch, you can't be happy. You wanted equal rights, but you can't be happy. Nothing will make you happy.
And then what was funny was that when the black guy started talking, we didn't touch that part. He goes, "So You wanted to make more money, but now you have a problem with paying for a date?
Yes, bitch. Can't you afford it? How much is a plate? How much is a sandwich? You can't pay $12 for the sandwich for the guy you with?
It's been okay for men to be paying for these dates for years, for the last decades and centuries.
Right.
Now you making money, and it's like, oh, my man got to make as much as I do so that he can still pay for everything.
What are you going to do with your money then? Why'd you go get it?
And that's what's so crazy. And then after all this, he pays all the bills in the house. He takes and gives you this lavish lifestyle. You fuck around, that's how you want to divorce him. You take half of what the fuck you never paid on.
Would y'all marry somebody who made 3 times as much as you?
Shit, I was looking at a ring for a chick who made 6 times more than I did.
That doesn't matter to me. I don't care how much she makes.
I mean, and I think a lot of times I hear women who say, well, the reason I don't want to date a man who makes less is because their ego. Bitch, stop lying. I don't believe that.
That's like some confused women talk shit.
The man's ego. When a man don't make as much money, he starts acting different. His self-esteem is not the same. It's because you don't empower him.
No, it ain't no empowering. There's a chick I was dating. Because she had like 2 homes when we started dating, and she's like, "Well, I already came here with houses. You don't own your own house yet." I'm like, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna feel bad." Bitch, I don't care. You're not. How am I gonna stop being a man just because you own a home? That doesn't even make any sense.
If y'all got married, would you live in that house?
Sure, I don't give a fuck. Where? Who? I mean, we're gonna rent it out and make money, rental income or whatever.
Would you move into her home?
Yes, I don't care. Well, you want to buy a different home instead?
Well, why you look different? Why you?
Well, you want to buy a separate home and just rent those out with rental income or something?
But was she living in those homes?
Yes.
She lived at one of her parents' homes, and then the homes that she owned, she was getting rental income from.
Okay. What I'm saying is, like, if she bought a home before you did, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, "All right, let's get married and just move into my house." Mm-hmm. Are you okay with that?
Sure. Why not? It's a fucking house. Like, why?
I ain't gonna lie.
What's your facial expression, or what's your concern about?
Like, nah.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you. So,
exactly.
What's your concern?
When I dated the girl who had
the girl from Atlanta, she had made $300,000 plus a year. She had a 6-bedroom house, big ass house. I was looking to relocate to Georgia for us to be together, but I told her off rip, we're gonna have to buy a house together. See, that's what.
But tell me why?
Because at the end of the day, I think when you're dealing with women, they're emotional, not logical. We get into an argument. The first thing gonna say, "Get out my shit, nigga." I don't want no parts of that. I've been in this, and we did come to a place where we got into an argument, and I was staying up there for the weekend because when she'll come down, she'll be with me. When I go up there, I'm with her. We got into an argument. She was drunk. Get out, nigga! Get out my shit. Hell no.
Yeah.
So and as a man, I just feel like I got to be able to stand on my own. I don't want to move into your shit. We can move into something together.
If you married, she can't kick you out.
No, but who wants to go through that belittling? You know what I'm saying? Like the idea of knowing that this is some shit she got on her own and she bought on her own. I want us to come into this marriage and say, okay, yeah, you had this house, you bought it, but we went and got something together.
So buy another house. But that's just like, what were you gonna say?
Would it be different if you had the house first?
That's a good question.
It wouldn't be. I wouldn't expect, but I think as a man, you got to be able to stand on your own too by yourself.
So you were talking about her belittling. She has more money. She's belittling. So that's her ego. That's her problem. She's not emotionally mature enough.
I'm also not putting myself in the predicament to let her do that.
So now you don't trust her. So now she's not emotionally mature, and you don't trust her to not belittle you.
It's not about trust, though. I just think
it is trust. Man, you said I won't even put myself in that situation. No, you don't trust her
because I was raised as a man to stand on my own too. Simple.
No, you brought up the point of her belittling you. She got drunk and said, "Get the fuck out of my place." You don't want to put yourself in that situation where she can talk shit to you. You don't trust that she'll be mature enough to have more money and not belittle you.
I think it's less of that as opposed to just because even before we got to that, because that was an argument we had when I was up there for like a weekend or some shit. She got drunk and said all that crazy shit. At the same time, I'm looking at from like the whole relationship I had with her. She was never that kind of person. But just me as the way my mother raised me, you don't move into a woman's shit, and the way my father raised me, you don't move into a woman's shit. And that's just something they instilled in me from day one. Even when I was telling them I'm going up there, they're like, "Oh, okay." If it happened that we happen to get married, I would have to be a man and be able to say, okay, we got this together. That's just, it has nothing to do with her.
So she got a 6-bedroom house.
Yes.
And y'all need to buy a new house just for your ego and your background.
It's my ego. It's my upbringing.
Because your upbringing.
That's the point I was making. That this lady's saying, what she's saying, or the researcher's saying, whatever, is that you're dating down because the man. You just said it's the male ego is the problem here. Earlier, you said these men be insecure. Ego. You said that earlier.
That's not the problem. That's kind of what some women say. Why they won't do it,
and you just established that.
Yeah, you did. You said that's how your parents raised you.
Or is that just
that's pride? Say pride, ego, upbringing. I don't give a fuck. It's the same thing. You can't take it.
You can't move into a woman's home.
No, but see, that's only in that aspect that I feel like less of a man when I was dating a woman who made $300,000.
No, but the house. We're talking about the 6 bedroom.
That's a house. I mean, you're talking about the house part. I'm talking about the entire relationship. If I'm dating a woman who, for instance, who makes $300,000 and I make $80,000.
Yeah, both still good.
I don't feel less than as a man, and that's just me.
Is there a number where you would feel less than as a man?
Hell no. If I met a woman who made $10 million a year, I'm gonna do my best to make her feel like. Listen, when I was dating a girl in Atlanta, and she made $300,000, I made less than 100. I'm gonna leave it like that. There was a point in time where her friends would like. I can't say her name. They was like, no, they didn't say that. No, this is what her friend said. Is he a scammer?
A scammer.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. See, when I got with her, I did for her as if I made more than she did. I'm going to Tiffany & Co's. I'm finding out of town every weekend. Whatever she want, we were living lavish. At the end of the day, I feel like as men, we can spend what we want to on our partners when we want to. Like, was I making $100,000? No. But would you have known that? No. She never even asked me how much I made.
But why did her friends think you were a scammer?
Because I was spoiling her, and I was in and out of town every 2 weeks. You know, we go on
her
trips.
Friends think you can't afford what you're doing, and
no,
they
it ain't that. Their whole point is that he's doing so much. We can't even the amount of money he spends. And they didn't know what I was doing for a living, but it's just like, damn, this nigga's spending money. So to them,
why is that scamming?
They could have thought I was a doctor. It's irrelevant. I think they just saw that I was always in and out of town moving like that. The way I was moving was as if I was a scammer, as if I was doing some shit.
But that means to be with her. You are making my point.
No, listen.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, so for your ego to be satisfied, you have to overspend.
No,
you gotta act like
no. That was no. Because
act like y'all make this.
No,
make the same.
That's not what I was doing though. I was just in a place where I can afford to do so, and I just happened to do it because I was finally with someone who would do for me like I would do for them. That's all it was. It was never about the ego with me.
Have you ever spent that much?
It was not about ego. No, I'm giving person. Period. I just dated. Listen,
because of your earlier point. No. You said that you can't even move into her house. You'd have to get a new house. That's ego.
That's a separate conversation. I'm talking about me as a man. I did a lot for her financially. Not saying I'm giving her rent money, no, or mortgage money, no. Christmas came up. We went to Tiffany & Co. I got her some Jimmy Choos, bought a necklace, bracelets, all this shit. I spent money because I was with someone that I finally felt like was meeting me halfway, was giving me the same energy I was looking for. That I was giving. So that's what made me do it. It had nothing to do with ego.
So what's the point you was trying to make?
That when they say dating down, is that it's not that the women feel like the men are less than. Is that the men themselves are going to feel like less of a man.
I don't think that's her argument in that. I think her argument was solely based on he makes less money than me. So, like when you watch Kevin Samuels or even Just Pearl, whoever, a lot of women who get on these podcasts, educated or not, they all say, oh, I want a nigga to make as much as money as me, if not more. That, I think, is not realistic because, again,
women are being more educated now.
And it's not even only education. Women have avenues they can get in that some men can't get into.
Like
when I worked in corporate,
them bitches can make money, dude.
That too, but that too.
Strip club was the first thing that popped in my mind when you said that.
OnlyFans, even in corporate America,
that's messed up that we went that way in our brains.
But it's a real reality though.
Yeah, all they do is put up a fucking picture.
It's women who made millions of dollars with toe pictures.
Yeah,
and it's niggas is pervs. purse. They paying for this shit.
Who paying for it? Exactly.
Niggas.
It's not like they're just getting this money that they can't access. They'll be like, we can't access. It's we paying for it.
Purse.
I saw, speaking of OnlyFans, Iggy Azalea, this is white rapper girl. She got on OnlyFans maybe days last week or whatever. First day, 300,000.
Ooh,
300,000 followers.
No, dollars.
Oh, she made that in one day.
In one day.
No, the same thing with the girl who
that's crazy.
What, she was
The girl-
showing her body?
But like not even naked.
there was a woman who made, I forgot her name. She made $1 million. I think it was like either $1 million or $10 million in one day, posting the same picture she had on Instagram.
On OnlyFans? Just
On OnlyFans, the curiosity of pervert niggas.
Right.
Like, what's she gonna post? Oh, this bitch bad. She got 1 million followers on Instagram. She made, I want to say, close to about $10 million in the first day. And she posted the same shit, the same content. Because niggas is pervs, but that's beside the point. We're not having that conversation.
I think that even ties into it. It's like when women be like in a dating pool, like these are the niggas they got to contend with too.
What
like,
do you mean?
These are part of these niggas will pay $100 to see your toes.
Right.
I mean, if that's your fetish, that's your fetish. But like, you know, imagine trying to like make that nigga your husband for them. You know what I mean? Like everybody has their kinks and their quirks, and man, that's all good. But I'm saying like a nigga who you have to like. These are all men paying for this shit.
Right.
These are also men saying, "Oh man, women are hoes," and these are the same niggas.
And it's funny because men can't make that kind of money on OnlyFans. Women are not subscribing to that. It's predominantly fucking like, you know, like men can't make that kind of money. You go online, you stroking your meat. No female cares to watch that. She got a million dicks in her DM right now for free.
All right, but what are we talking about now? Yeah, what are we talking about now?
That was my no, but I think essentially it boils down to the dating down thing. I think it they're referring to more or less to men who are not making what they're making. And I think that.
But you think otherwise?
That's what it's talking about, though. That podcast clearly speaks on
But why do you think otherwise?
I feel like it stems from men not feeling like I'm the head of this relationship. This imbalance. You know, I think men always want to have this power dynamic in the relationship where she clearly recognizes I am the leader, the head, the dominant force of this relationship. So if there's something that can bring an imbalance, like money, for example, finances, or say she's more emotionally stable, that's another thing that I think happens a lot too. Is like when you bring with a woman who's been like, who's mature and secure within and healthy, and you're not, you feel like, this bitch always trying to control me. This bitch always want to talk. And really she's just comfortable within, but you are not. So now that imbalance still happens. So
I think a lot of it.
I agree with what Mike is saying. All of those, but when you're talking about the subject of dating down, based on that clip we played, it's strictly financial.
Right.
He's not making what I'm making.
And then she's frustrated.
And she's frustrated. It's not even about it, because nowhere in that conversation was anything else about emotionally intelligent. And I think those are also very important. And I think that's why I think it's a funny conversation to have, saying you're dating down. You can meet a guy who makes 3 times what you make, who's not emotionally intelligent. Right. You get what I'm saying? And so him making all this money doesn't make him a good man, doesn't make him a husband. I remember watching the clip on Instagram the other day, and the guy said, the problem with dating nowadays is that women are dating men's pockets and what they have, as opposed to their character. The character is how he's going to treat you. He can have all the money in the world and he treats you like shit and he don't do nothing for you. It's like women automatically assume because he's making money, I'm entitled to it. That's a sense of entitlement to me. And I just think it's crazy that, you know, women are not looking into all these other factors. It's like, oh, I'm dating down. What if this guy is emotionally intelligent, romantic, loving, affectionate, loyal, but he makes maybe 20 grand less than you? Now you dating down? How? Because whatever he has, he's that's in surplus. If we are both living in separate homes, you paying $2,000 a month for rent, he paying $2,000 a month for rent, automatically and coming together, you guys are saving $2 grand as a couple. You're saving $1,000 each. You guys are saving $1,000 each. So now you move into a house.
But it got to be at my house.
Fuck you. But yes, or we get one together.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of that is emotional intelligence. There's gonna be an argument somewhere in the relationship.
Hell yeah.
So now it's the new argument that she's talking about. The new research study is the dating down phenomenon. But even before that, it was a different argument. It's like, okay, he has the money and I don't have any freedom in this relationship. He tells me what to do. Sure. He tells me what to wear. So it's like there's always an argument somewhere in the relationship.
You can't please women.
She wants the freedom. She wants 50-50, but she don't really want 50-50. She want more money, but it to seem like 50-50. Because she still want you to pay, even though she wants more money. She don't want 50-50.
But do you still want to pay?
I pay for shit. I don't give a fuck. For me, it's just a relationship. You're together. I don't care. I'll pay for everything. There was actually this chick I was dating, some Christian chick. Yeah, she was way too fucking religious in my opinion. So she's like,
what's with Peter ain't get no pussy? Just so you know. Go ahead.
I didn't smash her.
What I said.
I didn't smash her. I didn't.
Go ahead.
So she was like, damn. Thank you for saying that, Mike. Like, fucking messed up my train of thought.
The religious girl.
Yeah, so she's really religious, and we were dating. She wanted me to pay for everything. She was working on her master's degree, and she said God showed her that her husband is gonna. I had some hair. She said cut the hair and pay for everything, and I just asked her, well, what do you want to do with your money? You got your master's you're working on. When you have your master's degree, what did God show that you're gonna do? And she got offended. She didn't want to answer that question. She was offended that I asked her, what do you want to do with your money?
I've actually asked that question a bunch of times. Like, if the guy pays for everything, what are you doing with your money?
You know, they say dumb shit like, oh, I'll pay for the trips. And then you hear when someone was saying, like Chili was just saying on that same dating down topic, if I gotta go 50-50 with a nigga on the bills, I mean on the trip, I shouldn't be going with that nigga. So what again are you doing with your money? It's like,
what do you want
they
to do?
can't answer that. They're gonna save their coin up
and divorce you,
and then divorce you and take half of what the fuck you paid for that they never paid.
I don't understand what, like, and she was really offended. Like, what did God show you will be doing? Because God's showing you everything I gotta do.
Everything else, bro.
Yeah.
And see, I don't have no problem with like doing 50-50. I feel like, but that only applies to men who understand that, okay, if my wife is going to be paying or my girl's going to be paying 50-50, we're promising to, you know, for the most part,
yeah,
that's going to apply to every aspect of our relationship. Cooking in the house, taking care of the children, you know, cleaning the house, you know, so.
I completely agree. I mean, I was telling somebody the other day, like, you know, I believe in the Me Too movement. Like, my own Me Too is like, oh, you want like a soft life? Yeah, me too.
The new Me Too.
You want to be taken care of. You want to be told that, you know, you're beautiful, healthy.
Me too.
Love, I'm telling you.
That's funny.
You don't want that. You want to spend gifts on and buy you know, nice things.
Me too.
I mean, why would I not like that? I think that'd be the thing that'd be throwing me for like lupus. They be like, you know, oh, Andrew Tate, the big Andrew Tate. Like, he'd be like, I don't care what she
Oh, the
makes.
funny dude.
Yeah, I don't care what she makes. I'm the man of this. I'm the alpha man. I take care of everything. She just has to be loyal to me and respect me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, like, it's not I care how much she makes, but I want her to. I don't want just loyalty only.
Right.
I want to be treated as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
To be, you know what I'm saying?
That's why that happy, like, what they say, happy wife, happy life. I never liked that shit. My thing is happy house, or happy spouse, happy house.
For sure.
Like, it has to be
like
apply to
that.
both people. I always say this when I talk to women. I say, you realize 75% of suicides are done by men? It's like, yeah, you never heard the statistic?
Yeah,
3 out of 4 suicides are completed by men.
Damn, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
And so I'll be like, you know, I always had this conversation with people like, the same things women like, nigga, we like that shit too. Like, just keeping it real, like, you want to be told you're beautiful, man wants to hear he's handsome.
Bro, you want to go on spa days?
Yes, nigga. As a matter of fact, I posted that shit the other day when I went about 2 months ago. I like spa days. Who the fuck doesn't like being pampered?
I don't really care for spa days.
I mean, that's cool.
That's cool, but the average nigga likes it.
Right,
Whether he
right.
likes it, I like my nipples licked too. You like your nipples?
See, we y'all always take it somewhere else. But I feel you, and I get the concept. And I said this on one of our previous podcasts. It's about 100. We got to both put 100% of ourselves in this relationship, and I'll take care of you. You take care of me.
And wherever we fall short, we fall short. That's what I'm here for. If you fall short with the bills, I got you. If I fall short with the children, you got me. You get what I'm saying?
And I don't care about the bills and stuff. I don't care to pay 100%. And we live together. I'm just curious, what do you want to do with yours? That's all. I don't give a fuck. I'll pay everything. We're in the same relationship. But
that is a great
what do you want to do with your money? That's all.
But if you, even in that example, say you pay all the bills, but she furnishes the home, buys all the food, buys the maintenance of our lives.
So that shit is, some of that is really, no, it isn't.
Oh, it could be.
No, it isn't, nigga. You buy furniture one time. You talk about mortgage. You talk about I paid all the bills.
$3,500 a month, $3,000 a month.
That's not equal.
Compared to buying furniture one time.
Buying food every 2 weeks. Food now $500.
Food every 2 weeks.
That's $500 compared to $3,000.
That's not the same.
Every 2 weeks, I'm saying.
It's not the same.
That's fine. I mean, but that's also saying we're not eating out. That's also saying that she's gonna be cooking up that regularly. That doesn't happen.
So just have a joint account and it all comes out of the same account.
Because what I wanted to just say was, if in your scenario you paying everything, what she's doing, it might not be financial.
That's bullshit, bitch. You pay everything. I'll take care of the kids. I'll cook.
No, but I'm saying it could be a lot of different things. I don't know what those things are, but
that's stupid. Like,
no one can substantiate these things. This is an arbitrary.
Being a stay-at-home mother is the same as me paying the goddamn mortgage,
and it's not true.
It's not.
When she taking care of the kids?
Yeah, you take care of a fucking 3-year-old.
No. First of all,
that's not hard.
Why is that?
No. Hold on. I'm not saying it's not hard, but understand. These kids go to school for 8 hours out of the fucking day. So even a mother saying, hey, I'm going to stay at home, I'm going to take care of the kids. Bitch, for 8 hours, they in school. Even from daycare, they're in school, daycare, pre-K, elementary school. That's 8 hours out of an entire day.
What about when they come home?
Okay, nigga, it ain't but 2-3 hours till I get home.
I'm not saying it's equal. All I'm saying is that could be like, if you want to cut it in a pie, you want to put it in a pie. Whatever your percentage is, if what your value or what you're contributing to the relationship, the majority of it is money, and she's doing a whole bunch of other things, it might equal out, or it might be. You never know.
Because them hoes be complaining then. Oh, he don't help me with the children. He don't cook. He don't clean.
All they do is complain.
Then they complain about that. And then it's like, it's a problem.
But I think the problem
has it not been the problem? I've heard women say, when men who pay all the bills on a regular, he don't help me around the house. Bitch, he's working.
That can't be.
Like, what's the argument here?
Right. So I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying.
Sweep once a day. I mean,
and let's be real. When people, no. I'm gonna tell you why Peter's not tripping. Really, sweeping might take 15 minutes out of your time.
How hard is that?
And let's be real. We have fucking, what they call the little shits. John got the Clifford Roombas now that sweep the house for you. Mm-hmm. It's not like bitches is getting brooms like back in the day and sweeping up fucking dirt lawns. No. So most of this shit is automated now.
So I think the problem with what you're saying is twofold. One, you're talking about certain kind of women. Like, there are some women who doing exactly what you're talking about, is complaining even though this person, their spouse is paying 100%. But there's a bunch of women that's not. Like, it's a whole bunch of people there's a whole bunch of women they take care of the entire house, like the entire family, period, including the man. Okay. So when the man comes home, yes, there's women that cooks every single day, that takes care.
I haven't met her. Let's be real.
That is a lot of work.
And that's a lot of work.
Every single day cooking?
Yes, cooking and cleaning every single day. Not everybody has a Roomba or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
But you're not doing that shit every day. Most people
But I'm saying there are
realistically, we're not gonna talk for the fucking minority. Let's be real. Have you ever met a bitch that cooked every day? No. Have you met a bitch that cooked every day? Who?
Nah, come on now.
I know somebody who cooks every single day.
Yeah.
I cook breakfast every day.
Because the person she's with does not like leftovers.
Correct.
So they cook every single day.
Every meal?
Every meal. Does not
breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day.
No, 1 meal a day.
Oh, come on, man. That 1 meal is an hour.
One time a day? They only eat 1 meal in the day?
No, that nigga, he orders out or some shit.
He's cooking food once a day.
That's easy.
That's still like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It is though. But it's 2. At the very most, it's 2 hours of cooking.
One time
all right, I got you. And
that's easy.
Even if you said that's easy, but what about the children as well? Like, they're
spending 8 hours in school, my nigga.
And when they come home, that 4 hours, that 2 hours, that 3 hours.
Okay, so let's be real. I have a child, right? So because nobody else here has a child yet.
True.
Nigga, I did all that.
Right.
And it wasn't impossible.
I'm not saying it's impossible.
No. Listen, I had to pay bills in the house and I had to take care of my child. So what are we talking about?
Nothing what you just said.
So listen, I remember the child is in daycare from 8 a.m. to about 4, 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
The average person gets home from work about 6 o'clock. You talking about a 2-hour fucking window, my boy?
No, I'm not. So if and I'm looking
I
at
get home at 6 p.m. My wife has been home all day. She's had there's a 2-hour time lapse where I wasn't home and she took care of the child for 2 hours.
She didn't take care of the child for 2 hours because if the child is a regular child and she's a housewife, they're not gonna go to daycare or after school care. She's gonna pick them up right after school. When we was in school, what time did we get out of school? Like 2 o'clock.
3.
And I ain't never been home, nigga.
So I'm saying they
till 5.
So if in the scenario that you're bringing up, if this is a housewife, she's getting those kids immediately or taking them to their practices, taking them to whatever there is. She's preparing them she's doing their homework. Whatever.
Fuck out.
Like that's what.
But how hard is that? You take them to after school care program?
No, they're not going to an after school care program.
A basketball game or cheerleading? That's not hard.
They're not just.
Well, tell me the hard part. Where's the stress?
Yes, because I'm trying to hear it too, people.
The hard part is raising the child by yourself. What are you talking about? So I want to make sure I'm understanding everything correctly. We're talking about, in this hypothetical, a man who pays for all the bills. Right. That's his contribution. And then there's a housewife taking care of the house and the kids. That's her contribution. Is that what I'm understanding we're talking about?
Yes.
So if that's what I'm understanding that we're talking about, that means the man is not doing no house cleaning whatsoever, no cooking, no taking care of the house whatsoever, no raising of the kids whatsoever.
Well, I would still clean. I still would.
So then now that's a different
I don't
scenario.
Clean as much. I would cook. I would take care of my child.
So then now we're talking about something different.
That is different.
So now
cleaning you can do. I'll help out, but I don't.
But still, I don't think it's there's enough work in a day to be done at home. When you don't, that's assuming that the couple has a child. What if the couple don't have no child? So what the fuck is she doing? Cleaning the house 8 hours a day, every day of the week? So
I'm gonna tell you, that's a great question. Here's why it's a great question. It's a totally different scenario than what we were just talking about.
Totally different.
Totally different. That's why it's a great question.
It's not different because the conversation started from. What is she contributing to the house? We assume that there's children. That was the problem. We assumed from
there was no assumption. I asked the question. I asked, what are we talking about?
But say she doesn't have children.
What is she doing?
But if you have a problem with what she's doing, why are you with her?
I don't have a problem with it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not getting with someone who wants to be a wife.
She's just going to complain no matter what.
She's
going to find a way to complain.
See, now we just wilding now.
If you're the kind of man, like, you know what? I'm Mr. Super Nigga. You do whatever you want at home. I'm taking care of you. You know what I mean? Just when I come home, loyalty and love, all that shit. Then it don't matter if she drink wine all day, watch TV.
Then it don't matter. Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree. But that wasn't my question. I'm not looking for that kind of woman.
Because that's what I be thinking. Niggas want women who are like loyal, obedient, you know, all that shit, all that good shit you hear. And we don't care how much they make. If they got a job, I'll take care of you. If that's the case, then who gives a fuck what she does during the day?
That's true.
But see, that's not my argument.
I don't care what she does during the day. I was just asking her. So I pay all the bills. What you're going for your master's? When you're done with school, what do you want to do with your money?
Yeah, so you're talking about.
You're asking. She specifically wanted me to pay everything. Right. Okay, if I do that, what do you want to do with your money?
And what was her answer? She had none.
She didn't really have an answer. She was offended and didn't even want to respond.
Yet.
You didn't wait long enough.
See that, and that's crazy.
She's ridiculous.
That's why I'm not with her.
I agree.
Crazy.
That's
you should have smashed first, John. Then figure out.
And shame time.
That's funny.
No, man.
I mean, but it's a crazy place that we're in now. I mean, I've seen just so many, and like you said earlier, this seems to be like a black
conversation.
Phenomenon, conversation. I mean, it's specifically. And I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't know why people have these problems, or maybe it's black people.
If they do, it's in house.
So it's like, I mean, I saw another one here where this is a black man going to be speaking to a black woman about the imbalances of relationships. Oh shit, my bad.
How come they the only motherfuckers that's constantly getting conned and lied to get in the situation they
like
y'all claim y'all are smart as men, but y'all the only people who say, oh, he told me to do this and he talked me into this. When a man gets screwed over, they say it's your fault.
You should have seen it coming.
Should have seen it coming. So why is it we can't say to these women? Because let me tell you a stat that should shock you, all of you. Did you know there are 2 times as many black women with children than black men? What does that tell you? It tells you that women are fucking the same man.
Boom.
Damn. So y'all know he ain't shit, and you fuck him because you in competition with that other ain't shit bitch to have that ain't shit nigga baby. Because you just saw a video on Instagram of Future, who you know got 9-11 kids, talking about how hard it is for him on Valentine's Day with all these bitches, and bitches jump right on the video to be there with him. So don't tell me how great women are. Don't tell me how women care about marriage. Don't tell me how women care about society. Because if they did, the last thing you do is continue to reproduce with somebody you know has shown he is not a father. But you do it because you want to.
Accountability.
What makes that so dumb? I'm glad you said accountability. If he said, I think he made that stat up, but that's fine.
Let's pretend it's not.
Yeah, if he said that there's twice as many women with children to
The total man.
Whatever. He made that up. But if he didn't, why isn't accountability on the man who created the children?
I think it goes to like the adage that if I see, maybe it's not adage, but if I see you put your hand on fire and burn your hand, what type of fucking idiot would I be to do the same exact thing and think it's going to yield a different result?
Sure, I do understand.
That's a common sense theory, bro.
I get that. But then where are these men who father the children?
I mean, yes, but this is the thing. When you're dealing with men, we know as a whole, men ain't shit. I'll be the first one to tell you that, right? But we just have a track record of not shit. And I'm not saying I'm not shit. I'm just saying as a whole, men aren't shit. The thing is that when you decide to put yourself in a position, like for instance, Future, the nigga got 10 kids, if not more or less. Nick Cannon, more or less 10 kids.
Those girls know they getting a check from Nick.
You get what I'm saying? So but you're putting yourself and your child at a disadvantage to say I had a kid with this nigga? Like, what's the point?
But Nick is the type of nigga, the super hero.
But he's being, to me, I think, I get it. He's being, it's an asshole move, but that's a decision he made with his life to be that kind of person.
That shit is awful for the children.
It is, but it's worse. The mother decides to let a nigga get her pregnant.
Yeah, it's
he's saying
terrible.
If he was ugly and broke, would they be doing this shit? No. That's their decision to do that. If I want to have 100 kids and there's 100 dumb bitches let me do it and not take care of my kids, that's on them. That's accountability on their part.
Nick will pay for the kids. They'll have money. They won't have the emotional. They're going to be a mess.
We get that. It's not even so much about all of that. It's just that I feel like for what the guy was saying was more or less, it was based on women make decisions that for the most part
are stupid
as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to be held accountable for those decisions.
Man, there's women right now that's like cursing both of y'all out.
And that's fine, but it's real conversation.
They're yelling at.
They're yelling
it's fine, but it's real conversation. Like you
Spotify.
You know how many women I see who good with niggas who they know is trifling, that they know ain't shit, but they expect some type of financial gain out of this shit.
See that shit in high school.
And then you don't get it, then it's like, oh, he did me, he tried me. Bitch, you knew what type of time he was on.
Right.
Whose fault is that but yours?
That I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
that makes sense.
I got homeboys out here with 4 or 5 kids, and I ain't gonna call that nigga name out, but I got one homeboy who got 5 kids from 4 different women. And it's only 4 because he had a set of twins with somebody. And I hope he ain't listen to the podcast, bro. You know I'm talking about you. But at the same time, like, what type of woman would you be? How low is your self-esteem that you would fuck with a nigga like that?
Damn.
So
that's your friend.
That's fine, but I know he ain't shit though.
But then, if he's not shit, why are we not talking about him?
Right.
What about him having sex? So you saying it's his fault instead of the woman's fault instead of being accountability?
What type of woman would degrade herself to fuck him?
Right.
Yeah.
So his question,
maybe in his own eyesight, he doesn't see himself as not being shit.
So his question is, why can't accountability go both ways?
So he shouldn't have sex with other women?
So women shouldn't have sex with men?
No,
not with them type of niggas, no.
So he isn't supposed to have sex anymore if he can get it.
This is how I see
because they're stupid.
No, I don't get that argument.
They're stupid.
But I'm gonna say this is how I see it. He's fucking the best thing available, right? A woman with no kids with a career. What is she doing? Fucking a nigga who's a deadbeat dad that you know is a deadbeat dad. You're not fucking the best thing available.
Are we still talking about your friend?
That's not him. But just men in general. That's the difference.
Okay, I got you.
He's doing what he thinks is best for him, which would be, I want to fuck this chick who has no kids, has a career, right? It makes sense, right? I want to fuck the best thing available. But at the same time, she's not making that same decision. She's not fucking the best thing available. You're fucking a trifling dude and you know he's trifling, but you're deciding that maybe I could change him. That's the problem I have.
Right.
Well, yeah, I can't even argue that. That's
if you think that, that's crazy. Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
But what other reason is there to have a child with this nigga? Okay, he has money. My homeboy don't have money, but he got money. So then what is the reason behind it? How did you feel like you were going to be the third baby mama that got it right?
Right.
Nick probably going to have maybe 2 or 3 more pregnancies this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably.
That shit is trash.
And that's not good.
On his part, but it's also it's worse on the woman's part because you know his track record.
Yeah,
right.
He can afford it, so that's the good part.
He can afford it, yeah.
But these kids will not see their daddy. This nigga produces how many shows?
Yeah,
right. This nigga's busy as fuck. He's not gonna give them no type of attention,
and that's fine. But again, women
that's not fine.
Put themselves in. It's not. I'm not saying it's not fine. I'm not saying.
I'm just playing.
It's what it is.
The
but
baby mama number 8, 9, and 10, they're stupid.
Right.
This nigga.
What about the first nigga? Anything after 3?
They're stupid, dude. They. That's just a dumbass decision. You can.
How about this? What if Nick is an attentive and good father? And this is let's go back to
he's attentive or inattentive.
Let's go back to baby mama number 4. Right. So let's say he's good with the first 2 kids
from Mariah,
good with the second, and you're number 3 or 4 now. Mm-hmm. But you see, he's a good father, attentive as much as he can. He's providing, hardworking. Would you still take not you, but is a woman dumb for taking that risk?
Yes. Okay. He still got the kids with Mariah. You're the next one up.
Got it. Now, Mike, for example. Mike has kids and is a good father.
Hey, kid.
Now you know of.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be stupid.
So Mike has a kid. Mike is an attentive father. Always in her life. We know that. Is a woman dumb for fucking with Mike?
That's different.
That's different though.
You talk about. You said Nick's. You said the second. You said the 3rd and 4th baby mama versus the second baby.
If Mike had 2 kids.
So I think it comes. Are you trying to ask at what number it becomes stupid?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it becomes stupid based on the amount of women you had it with.
Just because the point I was trying to make is like we're saying this is dumb because these are deadbeat fathers.
Right.
What if they're not deadbeat fathers? Is it dumb then?
Yes, it still is.
I don't think
because you can't be active.
I don't think it's dumb.
You can't be active in 10 children with 8 women. You can't be active in all of their lives.
That part I can agree with.
You got to go home to one bed, one house.
Nick Cannon, sure. But say on a local level, your homeboy who got 4 baby moms, right? What if he's active? They all live in Miami?
He is active. He is active.
But how can he be with all the children?
He can't be with them all the children all the time. Yeah, but
is it all in one household or something?
No.
All right, so how? Does he go to one household to sleep on Monday?
So
a different one on Tuesday?
He's active.
A different one on Thursday?
He's active. I won't say enough. He's active.
That's not how you raise a family.
I agree, and that's the thing. I think when it's different, I think the difference is not how many kids he has, but how many different women. That's the problem I have. When there's 4 different women, then you have to realize I can't divide my 8 hours a day of free time amongst 4 different households.
Right.
Now, if he had 4 kids with 1 woman, then that's fine. Just so happens maybe they had a divorce, whatever the case is. That's different. He can take care of them 4 kids and it's still different. But I think the problem is when it's the amount of women. Then you have to look at it. Okay, they all didn't get it wrong, nigga. He's the common denominator.
Right.
That's the problem.
No. Numbers 3 and 4, they fucked up. Those 3, woman 3 and woman 4, they fucked up.
I agree. 3
yes,
and 4.
Woman number 3, woman number 4, definitely number 4. Unless she didn't know it all. I mean, she didn't ask him questions while they were talking.
Right.
But number 3 and number 4, they definitely fucked up.
Number 2 did not.
Number 2, I mean, that's the second one up. That's, you can have forgiveness and misunderstandings. Number 2. Number 3 and number 4, you got to do a little homework. You got to know who you're talking to. Does he have friends? Or you got any friends that know him? Can you ask some questions? Number 3 and number 4, they definitely fucked up.
So we can't talk about 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Well, they're done for.
Yeah, but I guess the outcomes is like they don't want to. I mean, well, I was gonna say they don't want a relationship, but they do want a father, right? And
They just want a baby. They don't want. They don't want a family. They want a baby.
yeah, they want to find.
That's the problem with it.
They want
that
a
women are
child.
so focused on money, they don't realize the detriment it brings to this whole black community. You're
Number
raising
3 and number 4, you put them on child support. How much money you gonna get?
hell. A decent.
Oh, from Nick Cannon, you good?
Yeah, exactly.
The homeboy, come on.
Yeah. And then even still, with certain people, how much do you really think you're gonna get? Like football players, contracts. Like it ain't but so much money you can get out of it.
Yeah, I mean that's true too. It's like I don't know. It just depends on what your goal is. If your goal is just to have a kid and just to be, a mother, then fine.
But I don't think that's the case because I don't think that's the case because they're not doing this with regular men who don't have kids or has 1 or 2. They're doing this shit with niggas who got 9 and 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what type of idiocracy is that?
I get everything everybody's saying, and I agree with a lot of the points and the majority of the points y'all making. I just want to point out that we're painting a broad stroke on a minority of people. Like this is not the common woman. You know what I mean? This is not the common household. This is not the common.
I kind of want to say. I don't want to say it is, but I think that in the black community, there's a lot of single mothers who are having children by a bunch of deadbeat men.
Right, but even if that's true, I don't know if that's true, but even if that's true, they're still not the majority of women. I don't know if that's.
We're talking about in the black community,
right? We're talking about an experience that happens. We're not making anything up.
That's a very real statistic, though.
For sure. I don't want to downplay that at all.
A lot more than you probably think. There's a lot of women who are raising children on their own.
And just to backstep, because I don't want the women to feel bad.
It is too late.
You already fucked up, all right? I'm going to say that. You fucked up, all right? But it's not just to beat you up. I mean, those are some fucked up decisions. Now, your sister and your friends, talk to them, try to help them out. You're done for.
Wow.
I mean, you fucked up, but I'm not saying you're done for. I just said that, but that's not. I was joking, sweetheart. Yeah. Try to make the best of your situation. Nick, girl number 10 and 11 and 12. But like, y'all got to, try to make better decisions. Think about the family you want to raise. Think about the community you want to have, because that's not the way to do it. The guy can't go home to 4 or 5 different households every night. You'd be lucky you see him a few times a month. Because he's still going to smash someone new. He got the 5 girls already, a couple different children. He's going after someone new, probably talking to a couple different women at the same time, smashing a couple at the same time, and he still got y'all 5. Y'all got to think.
So back to the accountability question. Is it because dudes ain't shit that's the reason why we put less accountability on dudes? Because your earlier response was, is he not supposed to smash women, or is he not gonna smash women?
He's gonna smash.
Right. So if he's gonna smash, why aren't we not holding this, like the vitriol that this episode is putting out right now? It seems like it's straight towards the women, but none towards the men for also contributing to that.
I always hold men accountable. That's not something I don't do. I'll be the first one to check a nigga. I got homeboys that cheat. I'll be like, bro, you tripping. But in the same breath, we have to look at what has happened throughout society. There's a track record of niggas being not shit, and a track record of women having to raise children on their own. Ultimately, if he decides to have sex without a condom, it's your choice. Because women like to preach this, my body, my choice shit. Mm-hmm. It was your choice to have that child. It was your choice. Like, to me, you can't.
So, like, if we have,
you got to be accountable. I mean, I'm not saying men can't be accountable. That nigga decided to bust a nut. He decided, okay, he's gonna have to deal with the consequences. But there's a point where a woman has to deal with what she's allowing him to do in decisions she making her own. Especially when you screaming, "My choice, my body."
I was thinking about the first clip we played, where the lady said that there's a lot of virgin men out there. A lot of the guys aren't having sex. There's a lot of guys incest or whatever. So
incest.
I'm not. What's that other word? Not incest. That's the incel. Involuntarily celibate incels. Right.
Right.
These frustrated men out there who can't get laid. So these women are choosing the minority of men. Like Mike was saying, this nigga got 4 or 5 kids. They're choosing the minority of men. There's good guys out there. They're making bad choices.
Right.
Why don't you give the fucking other dude a chance? That's your fault.
No, you know why I think too? It's like, and this is where I think all this comes from. It's from like these incels, like the people who.
Oh, you want to blame the incels?
Yes.
All right, I want to see this.
This community that kind of started maybe the last 10 years or so. Like Kevin Samuels is being the best of it, but Kevin Samuels was always like very, what's the word? Like he was even. Like a lot of these other places are not responsible. They're not even. They're just like women ain't shit. Kevin Samuels, if you a man and call up.
He gonna check you too. Check the fuck out you too.
He'll give you the business.
Like that Just Pearly girl, she just be like, and she only be talking to black women, which I hate. It's always like women ain't shit. Women ain't shit. You know, go for the incel guys, the nice guys.
Right.
Who says these things are nice?
Yeah.
These are the niggas paying for $100,000 for feet pics.
Exactly.
These are weirdos.
And that's why
I wouldn't go for them either.
Right. And what you just said, I completely agree, because I've always wondered, like, why is there so much heat on Kevin Samuels when really he was even? Like, he would check dudes all the time.
You know why? Because women don't like. They didn't watch accountable.
They didn't watch the clips when he was checking the man. They didn't watch those when he's checking the women.
Those clips don't go viral.
But you know what? Yeah. I've always said this: black women. Are the, no. They're the biggest demographic with anything related to relationships, whether it be buying books, Derek Jackson, you know, Kevin Samuels, you know, Derek. Steve Harvey with the think like a man, act like a woman. Whenever it comes to any type of anyone giving dating advice or any type of intel on how to date, you know, how to be successful, it's always going to be black women. There's not a single black man buying books on how to find a wife. But it's women, black women are finding books and making fraud niggas like Derek Jackson a millionaire because they falling in and selling the bullshit he's, you know, they're buying the bullshit he's selling.
Right.
So with that being said, I mean.
Yeah, but to my point, it's like these involuntary celibate niggas, no, I wouldn't fuck with them either.
Well, why not?
Because, you know.
But why not? Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. So a lot of it too, I was reading about the incels, or like, no, the sex, how these niggas 1 out of 3 men don't have sex or whatever.
Right.
Like,
I think it might even be higher than that. Higher than 30.
So like,
I'm one of those guys, just so you know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not a creep. I'm not buying books, and I mean, I'm not buying toe pictures, but
like, that shit is weird. Because these guys are saying we don't have the opportunity to have sex with women because they only want the alpha niggas or whatever, I guess.
Right.
So, but a lot of it too is like, sex is also correlated with income. The more income you have, the less sex you have. So the birth rate declines with more education. The more education women have. Poor people have many children.
Yeah,
that's all over the world.
Right.
People in Nigeria, Haiti, whatever the fuck.
Right.
Poor as fuck. All they do is fuck. Have 10 kids.
That's right. Ain't got nothing else to do.
Poor as fuck.
The higher you, the more educated you are, the less children you have. The less sex you have.
I know a lot of niggas getting into a bag right now that's fucking a lot of hoes.
Sure, at the top of it too.
But they probably having fewer children though.
Yeah, they're not. Cause it's just, I think,
because the birth rate is declining.
Because they can afford a plan B.
No.
You make $100,000, you can afford a plan B. You give her a bag and a plan B.
Yeah, and the reason I say you can't use like countries like Nigeria and Haiti is because ultimately they probably don't got no fucking condoms over there either. That's also why they got high rates of. No, I'm just saying, pulling out is not something that niggas gonna do in Africa. They don't have nothing to lose. Like
what?
They ain't already poor. Like I'm busting pussy.
We just talking about
like, let's be real. No, I know, and I don't agree with that stat because I know
let me just bring a kid.
I feel like the more money you have, the more women you have access to, the more sex you're gonna be having.
But I'm talking about.
That's what he said.
But that is what I said.
That's what he said.
More sex, but you have less children.
I agree. Yeah. Because they don't want to also just have a bunch of random kids out here.
So when we're talking about people just having random kids, these are uneducated people have more kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah.
Statistically, yeah.
So these incels,
right.
people who are just like haven't had sex with anybody in years, blah 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 blah. I mean, I wouldn't go for these niggas either.
Right.
But why? Why
would I?
So the white girl, what's her name?
Just Pearl. I like her actually.
So she was saying the same things Kevin said. The average black man making $50,000 and shit. So they got money. They got decent money.
Yeah.
But the women don't want them. They're not going. These guys are approaching them, or they're reaching out. The girls they're reaching out to the same nigga who got 5 kids already. That's what they're going on dates with.
Yeah, and I can't. I don't think you can make sense of that. I've seen it. I got homeboys that scam.
If he's a nice
walking around with $300,000 in jewelry on their neck, and you know the nigga got a track record. It's a certain spot, I won't even say the name of it, in Miami, that I won't go to and holler at no chicks. I know my homeboy that ran through the bottle girls, the waitresses, the bartenders, and probably 25 to 30% of the women who go to that spot. I won't even holler at nobody in that spot. But whose fault is that they're all fucking the same dude?
But that's cool. Now there's other spots as well where if you see a group of black women there, you have success. But
those bitches be fat.
Wow.
You don't know.
They got their careers.
We talk about all the time. If you go to a nice brunch, a day party in Houston, what? You holler at anybody in there, you good.
Yeah,
your success rate is much, much higher.
What, to fuck or to
court a woman?
Yeah, but Houston's different.
Texas?
You know, that's why I want to move to Houston. I ain't gonna lie.
Texas?
Yes. You see, Peter be talking. You never been to Houston.
I haven't, but I mean, we live in Miami. You talk about going to
Miami
Houston.
Miami is horrible.
But like you saying, go to Houston to talk to a girl?
No,
Peter, you're missing the point.
The example I brought up Houston because those events cater to black people. It's a black event. It's men, women. They can interact. A lot of these women there go because there's a lot of black men there. They can kind of, they want somebody to approach them or whatever. If you do that as a black man, I think in those positions, I've seen it hundreds of times. You approach a woman, they are willing to engage with you. These incel niggas is on a computer. They on their phone. They on YouTube complaining.
No, I don't know. No, I don't agree.
They're not going out to spaces to meet women.
I think some of these incel niggas is regular niggas though.
But do we know any incel dudes?
No,
I know one. I know one.
All right, so describe him.
I don't want to describe him, but I know one.
So I think that then that there goes a problem, because if we don't know no incel dudes, like we just talking, we just talking.
I know one, but I ain't gonna describe him.
But then you said these girls are fat, the ones that's not getting dudes. So like if we have a description of the girls that's not getting guys, we don't have a description of the guys that's not getting girls. Because he's saying I wouldn't go for them either, but who is
the incel niggas are like the terrorists, the school shooters.
That's not the majority though. That's a very, 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 very small minority though.
I don't know. They might be, because I don't know no dudes really. That's like
I think about incels and think about fucking like quarantine and movies and weird shit.
So incel is like a dude who hasn't smashed in what, like how long?
Either ever or a long time.
I think it's
involuntarily several years, 10 years.
Then so just based off
you an incel?
I'm not an incel. So just based off of
I've had an incel year.
So just based off dudes that I know generally, even if I know in passing, it's like if you're a dude who hasn't had sex ever, bro, it's or not
12 months.
12 months?
Oh, that's what it says. All right.
Yeah, within the last 12 months.
Usually it's either by choice or, man, there's something objectively wrong with you, bro.
No, or you're just not dating the right type of women.
Or you're afraid to approach women, or you're afraid to talk to women. You're afraid of rejection.
And that's an objectively wrong thing with you.
Nobody has ever gone a year without having sex?
So, all right, have you gone a year without having sex?
Not a year, but probably like 8 months.
Okay, so then shut up.
Involuntarily, like you tried to have
exactly.
sex, could not.
I think okay, so look at it like this, right? When you're dating.
He asked a very good question. Yes or no?
You tried and you couldn't.
I mean, I didn't never go a year without sex. However, I probably had like a 6-month stretch where I wasn't fucking nothing.
No,
involuntarily.
Yes, involuntarily. I wasn't trying. I was dating. So like dating, trying to purposely date, meeting women, and it's like, damn, all they look focused on is one thing or the other. Damn, this ain't it. Bam, next chick. Like, yeah, I've involuntarily gone 6 months without sex.
A year, but so you wouldn't have been an incel.
No, but then I mean, even by definition, they just say it happens for a fucking year. That doesn't make you that person a weirdo. That just means that okay, I've been striking out a lot with women.
I don't believe you want.
I don't exactly like you're just talking nonsense.
No, I've gone 6 months without.
Shut up, okay. What about you?
No,
exactly. What about you?
6 months without sex?
Probably an undergrad, maybe an undergrad sometime.
I mean. No.
Nah, B.
I never did. But I was in a relationship. I'm not saying I'm smashing every single woman out here.
Right.
I was in a relationship.
That's so to your point. Like
Who are these niggas?
Who are these people? I don't, because
there's niggas in the comments on you.
It's weird. You're objectively there's
but there
gotta be something wrong.
There are some guys who are afraid of approach. Just I don't know.
That's weird, but
that's okay.
That's
you're saying
a him
fuck
problem.
that. You're saying fuck their.
That's a him problem.
No, but there's ways,
exactly.
There are books and ways to, and maybe these are the kind of guys. Maybe they look at like Kevin Samuels for his confidence, for his the way his mannerisms, and they want to emulate that. Maybe they call in and say, "Hey, Kevin, can you give me some pointers on?"
And Kevin's gonna tell them get a job and get more money and get fit, go to the gym.
A bigger dick. Like Kevin Samuels says all that shit.
But they
don't hit no conversation. No, he meant that.
What, use a pump or something? How do you get a bigger dick?
Who cares? But he definitely ripped men for now. He asked one guy.
He has
the guy was fat,
guys.
but yeah,
the fat guy. I remember.
Right. Yeah, that was crazy.
He was like, "You fat? Do you have a big dick?"
He's like, "I don't know. I don't know what to compare it to." He's like, "If you got a big dick, you know you got a big dick."
Right. Even if the only thing about that person, this dude, is that he has a confidence issue where he doesn't holler at women, how those women that you guys are saying, or she's saying, Pearl saying, go after him, how is she supposed to go after him?
Talk to him.
How?
She's supposed to approach him.
But some of she can approach, yeah. But some of these women, they're rejecting the guys on their approach.
That too.
They reject them.
But that's a different dude that we're talking about now. So then now we're talking about a dude who actually approaches women, who's trying to get women
involuntarily, and none of the women responded to them.
Yeah, so I don't know anybody.
We've all been rejected before.
Bro,
yeah, but for a whole year.
We went to Dream in South Beach, and we wasn't in the VIP, so we just. Excuse me.
I remember.
Can I talk to you?
Yes.
Can I talk to you?
The whole night.
No.
I remember. Yes, I remember. I remember vividly. The Jacksonville Jaguars was actually in that circle. And what's Buddy name with the running back? I was right behind him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm finna get these girls right here." Yes, it was a lot of strikeouts that day.
That's fine.
And it makes sense. And you move on, and
because
you move on to the next place. We go to Blackbird for free.
Yeah, I think because we were together,
right.
But there's some people maybe they didn't have no one to teach them, or they didn't want to learn. I guess they were just isolated or something. They didn't know they didn't know nothing about picking up.
He talking personal.
They ain't had no wingman. Yeah, I'm talking personal.
Sure.
They ain't had no wingman.
Yeah. But
so now these are just objectively things that's like, hey man, these are like your problem issues.
True, these are things you can still work on.
Maybe we could talk to these guys and give them like pickup game, give them some advice.
That's not about. We don't no lines or like, hey, say this first, say that second. Based on
actually, there are lines. You can watch YouTube videos on pickup game. There's people showing you pickup game on YouTube.
You going?
I don't know. I just feel women should approach men. Simple.
That's the solution.
Because the chances of a man.
Say they're frustrated.
No, I'm gonna be real. What are the chances of a man rejecting a woman as opposed to a woman rejecting a man?
It's more likely. I think
it's more likely that a woman will reject a man. So if you see a guy that you think is okay looking, he's handsome, maybe he's not someone who approach him. Shit, I don't have no problem with that.
No, if a woman ever, I'm obviously married. If I'm single and a woman approach me, I'd be weirded out by that.
No, I've had it happen to me.
You
quite
would
a few
be
times.
weird about
Hell
that?
no.
I'd be weirded out.
Hell no.
Why?
Because that's weird.
No, it's not, bro. That's your ego getting in the way.
To me, it's like
what?
Because women don't have no game anyway.
Wow.
Shit me.
They don't.
Come on, bro. You selling them short.
Women can't approach you and be like, damn, you're sexy.
I don't think game is what gets women. I think genuine, conversations. Like I've had women. Listen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Women are way smoother than fucking dudes. I was at Tootsie's one time, sitting there watching the game by myself, having a drink, eating, and a young woman walked up to me. She said, "Oh, I saw you order your drink at the bar. Me and my girl wanted to have a drink with you. If you want to come back to the bar,
She looked good.
She was decent.
Okay.
And even though I was dating someone at the time, my dumb ass, so I still went to the bar and offered them both drinks. You know what I'm saying? But had I not been dating someone, that would have been a snatch. She would have snatched me that quick.
Why'd you offer them both drinks?
Just out of being polite. I ain't gonna lie to you.
She invited you to drink?
No, she said come have a drink with us. But I still went over there and bought the two of them a drink just because I thought the gesture itself I had to commend.
I agree with that perspective. I also think you bought them a drink
because you're a dude
to bring the power back.
Because you're a dude.
You
did it only because you're a guy, bro. That's it. There's no other reason. Please stop. There's no other reason.
Why else? Maybe so.
Why else? The girl came up to you.
She invited you for the drink.
Emasculated me.
Exactly. You wanted back. You wanted it back. You wanted it back.
Mike was weirded out by it. He needed the.
I won't say weird.
Dynamic to.
Why? What other reason is there?
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, he might be on to something with that.
You
but
were uncomfortable.
No, I wasn't uncomfortable. Hell no.
With her paying for your drinks, you were uncomfortable.
Hell no.
Why did you?
Listen,
why did you buy it?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why that's not true. I'm the same nigga that when I go on a date with a woman and I pay the first date, I be like, listen, the second date is on you. I don't care if it's free.
Oh, second date.
Yes, second date is on. If we agree that we want to do this shit for real, I don't care if it's free or not. But you're gonna plan a date. You're gonna call me and be like, hey, let's do this today.
Switch places.
Trading places, bitch. Like, Usher, huh?
That's funny.
You did it on day 2.
Yeah, day 2 or day 3. It just depends on how the first one went. If I did something like coffee on the first date, then I might be like, okay, that don't really count.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of like a meetup. But yes, absolutely. At some point, you're gonna not at some point within the first 2 or 3 days, you're gonna say dates. You're gonna say, hey, I want us to do this. I got this idea. Let's go bungee jumping or whatever the fuck it is. It could be going to the beach and
bungee jumping.
It don't gotta be expensive. Just gotta be. All I want is the effort.
Right.
So I will commend a woman who approaches a man. Simple. If you see somebody you like, step to him. You're less likely to be turned down. As opposed to men.
But why did you buy them a drink?
Just simply because you're a dude.
And maybe because I'm nice. That's all.
It's just because you're a dude.
I'm nice, but I ain't gonna lie. I got a plug in Tussie, so I don't be paying for most of my drinks anyway.
Hey.
So it's like, yo, just spread the love. Spread love.
Regardless about that, you wanted to shift the dynamic back.
Yeah, it really just comes as simple as that. Like I was about, like
Peter, ain't that simple.
Like Peter was saying, is because or somebody was saying something about uncomfortable. It don't matter whether you was comfortable or uncomfortable. It's just because you're a dude, and that's just been the dynamic. It's like, hey, it's just the expectation you pay, and so you wanted to do that. It's like, nah, I got to meet this expectation. Period. Whether he was uncomfortable, comfortable, blah blah blah.
I would say that.
You just wanted to be. You just wanted to be a dude.
The drink part, no. So we've seen these clips of women proposing to men in that fashion. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you never doing that.
Nah.
Okay.
That's different though.
What's different about it?
That's a very big step. A woman proposing it. I'm not against it though, because I see too many guys wasting women's times. You waste the best 5-10 years of her life. So yeah, that's different. But when it comes to, you know, so I don't judge women who do propose to men. Not at all.
Yeah, I do.
When you've been in a relationship with a guy for 5 years and he's not showing you what you're looking for, and you done wasted your 5 best years. You went from 29 to now 34, 35, where you make it be considered high risk. This nigga need to step the fuck up, and if not, then I don't judge women for trying to put the power back in her.
I think she should have left before that though. If you're 29, 5 years, you got to make a choice.
Nah, but it's not that simple. We've all been in 5 or 4 year relationships.
You better make it simple. That's your life.
Nah, Peter.
Actually, there's nothing wrong with what he just said.
I agree with it, but I think that you can't say that because
you can't say that.
He could be working on himself, working on a ring, working on money, working on anything.
It doesn't matter. 5 years. You went from 29.
I think yes. The older you get, it's more essential to be
But to be like
mindful.
You know, just leave. It's like, I love this person.
And then you don't get the 5 years back anyway. So it's like you want to just you want to hope that day is sooner than later. Simple. Like if I've already put in,
you want to hope and pray.
It's kind of like with
when did you start praying? In year 4?
I think once you've invested that time already, it's kind of hard to now say
you better say you're good.
I agree, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, I don't look down on the woman who decides to propose. I mean to propose. I think that's a desperate measure. But I see it's.
Wait a minute.
It's warranted.
I see you talking off of both sides of your mouth now. How you gonna say it's desperate, but you don't look down on it?
That's a good question.
I think I don't judge her for taking the. I think okay. So with men, we have the power to. Women have power over one thing: vagina. Men have power over relationships, access to relationships, and marriage. If you've given a man 5 years of your life, you're trying to take the power back by asking him to marry you because it's like I've already given this man all these years. I think it's a desperate measure, but I don't look down on it either because it's like I've already sacrificed so much already. What else is there to lose? Did that make any sense?
Why don't you just go to 38 and see how it is? Just keep going to 38. Why stop at 34?
You funny. I don't think that's listen.
29 to 38, no ring. Keep going, sweetheart. Maybe he'll give it to you at 48.
So what you say when you just leave?
Hell yeah, bitch! You got to make
after
a decision.
5 years.
Before 5 years,
I think during
so Peter, how long you been with your girl?
Well, what does it matter?
I'm asking the question.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah, you getting personal, yeah.
No, but what,
Personal?
when is the time that she should make the decision to stay or leave?
Thank you.
I think that.
At what point?
All right, I haven't.
So part of that depends on her age.
Okay, let's talk about the 29.
The 29-year-old. Ooh, bitch, you got 2 years.
2 years if you don't propose.
She gotta because she's approaching. What is geriatric age start at?
Wow.
Where's 30?
We talking about a 29-year-old?
29-year-old should be looking for marriage.
She has to consider geriatric pregnancy. You can't. You can play around, whatever. You have to really think about it. Yeah. So,
but a lot of women don't.
35 years or so she's approaching it. And she's 29. She got. Was that 6 years? You want to?
I think 30. If it's 35 for women, I think for black women it has to be like 33. Because we have, I think black women suffer the highest number of fibroids in the community, of all communities. So I think 35 is an account for all women. So I think with black women it has to be lower.
If she's 29, if it's at 33, you can't give him more than 2 years. You can't.
I kind of agree. I do say the same thing. But I think that's also why I say women in their 20s shouldn't play with their 20s. Like a lot of women chase the wrong type of niggas, date the wrong type of niggas. I think that the difference between men and women, men can kind of play and still, have children well into their 50s. Women have to realize they're on the time.
But the 20-year-old niggas they chasing don't want to get married.
They shouldn't be chasing 20-year-old niggas. We've already
women aren't chasing 20-year-old.
We've already come to the conclusion that men mature much slower than women.
It's not. They chasing a man with a career. They chasing a man with 6 figures. They not chasing their college classmates. They post a picture. They get fucking dick pics. They're chasing a man with 6 figures and an established career. That's part of the reason some of these young boys ain't getting laid, because they in class with the girl. They don't want their classmates.
Nah, I can't say that. I don't think that's the case. I was fucking in college.
We've said so much just now. I don't even know what to respond to. So the 29-year-old, how long they was in a relationship, or did y'all just make that number up?
No, I asked Peter.
How long? If she's 29?
Yeah.
If it's at 33, no more than 2 years.
Wait, so did they just start a relationship at 29?
Yeah. So
we're not talking about a real person. We talking. You just made. Okay.
Because even if it doesn't work out and you got to start another relationship, you got to. Yeah. I mean, you could probably only give him 1 year, honestly, if it's at 33.
So
how much time do you have?
So my response to that is the dynamic of y'all relationship. Like, were y'all talking about marriage? Did you know that this is a person that wants to be married? Like, are y'all having?
But see, I think those conversations. I think that has to be done in a dating phase,
right?
Straight up.
So you're getting to know this person.
You shouldn't be getting into a relationship with a person. I hear a lot of women say this shit now. It baffles me. I was with this guy for 2 or 3 years. I'm like, why did I break up? Oh, we just wanted different things. Bitch, y'all didn't talk about this before the relationship. Funny. Like, before y'all got into the whole relationship, y'all should have had this conversation. What is it that you want out of life, out of this relationship, out of me?
But that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
But they're not having these conversations, clearly.
So y'all talking about, when y'all go on dates, y'all talking about marriage?
Yes. Like, what is your goal? I'm dating intentionally. Okay, so
that's later, not date one or nothing, but at some point.
No, I'm having these conversations on the phone before I even go on a date.
Wait, you talk about marriage? I mean, maybe
I'm not saying yes.
So you meet her in January and you're dating. When will you talk to her about marriage?
No. So I'm not saying I need to marry her. This is what I'm saying.
But when do you have a conversation about marriage? You met her in January.
Nigga, in January.
So in January,
I'm gonna tell you why though, because in my mind, listen, this is what y'all have to understand.
In 4 weeks?
Listen, my goals don't change no matter what bitch it is. It's the same thing with my education. I can talk to a lot of fucking women, and if I have a goal in mind as far as what I want to achieve for my goal, whether it's I want to become the president of America, that doesn't change with any bitch. it's my goal. My goal in life is to be successful, get married, and have children.
Right.
So yes, the conversation never changes. If I'm meeting a woman, I'm over here entertaining her, and I waste 6 months with her, and she's like, I don't want kids. Who I'm a dumbass. No, I'm gonna have that conversation up front. Hey, you know, I'm not saying I need to marry you, but I'm dating with the purpose of finding someone who wants the same things that I want. It's a very simple conversation. How complicated is that?
Right.
It's a weird conversation.
Hell no.
In January, in less than 4 weeks.
I'm having that on the first conversation because
So
if you don't want what I want, what am I wasting my time with
If you
for?
do one date a week, which week is it from January?
said before
Week
date
4?
one.
Listen.
So
Before the first date?
I mean,
Before date
explain it for me.
No.
I think you get what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying, and I think it also makes a difference on where you're at in life. Like right now, we're all above. We're mid 30s. We're up at 30s. So yeah, while we're dating, we're probably dating for the intent to be married more than likely. Just the general,
true.
the general 36-year-old. But yeah, when I was 19, no. If I was dating, I wasn't asking that question.
Yo.
I wasn't even concerned. I didn't even married. What?
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I was 23. I met some girl like New Year's Eve party. I know her name and everything. And she was a lawyer.
Cassandra?
No.
Whoa! Why shouting out names?
Shut up, man. Go ahead.
We got a New Year's Eve party, so we, leave New Year's Eve 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever. So she's driving home. We on the phone, kicking, talking. It's 3 o'clock in the morning now. She's like, oh, so what do you want out of? This is the first night I've ever met her in my life. Right. What do you want out of your life in a partner? I was like, well, I'm 22. I don't know. She's like, you don't know. I'm 20. She's 23. She's a lawyer already. She's obviously brilliant. She's like, you don't know? I'm like, no, I'm 22. I don't know what I know what I want to be as a profession, but I don't know what I want from a woman, a partner.
Right.
Oh no, you have to like level up to talk to me. I want a husband. Blah 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 blah.
How old was she?
23.
23. Yeah.
I'll never forget this. This is when the Androids had the battery pack in the back of the phone.
Right.
So I was just all right. I'm talking, and I take the battery out mid-sentence.
That's funny.
And didn't call her for the next day.
And you did the right thing.
Why'd you do that?
Did the right thing.
Fucking moron.
Nah.
She's a moron for saying you need to have
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. At that point, at 23.
22, 20, come on now. You did the right thing. At 22?
I met you at 10 o'clock. I met you 5 hours.
Bro.
Oh, shit. That makes sense.
What? At 22?
To me, but the point I wanted to make is at 35, if we had the same conversation, you're a fucking weirdo.
No.
That's different. Though.
No, hell no. Hell no. Not looking at.
But he said they only knew each other for 5 hours. That's kind of fast.
I mean, do I think that would be something that's not feasible, knowing how niggas waste people's times? No.
5 hours?
No, I think, listen, it's kind of like when you've been on a dating app. Are you not having that conversation when they say, what are you looking for? Are you not having that conversation at some point?
Right, yeah.
You're having that conversation.
That's
one of the first questions you ask.
What are you looking for?
Casually dating or are you dating intentionally?
No, I'm just here to have a good time. I'm just here to get to know.
And then you ain't get. That's not happening, niggas.
I like your profile,
but you never been on a dating app, so that's why
that's true.
It's
true. It is true. I haven't been on. Instagram. Even if you DM somebody, are you asking before you gonna date? Yo, you trying to get married or not?
No.
Yeah, that's not. But yeah, no, but you don't approach nobody like that.
And that's also Instagram. But when you're dating intentionally, I think anybody on a dating app is dating intentionally at some point.
To have sex.
That's right. Yeah, I was just about to
not the women though.
That's not true. That's not true.
Every woman you liked or swiped on, you was like, oh, this is a potential wife.
No.
Hell no.
No.
I ain't looking to fuck though.
You like their profile, their presentation. You thought they were attractive.
Exactly.
Or maybe they say they're adventurous like you, artists like you. So that is the springboard. But I don't think you thought in your mind like I could potentially marry this person.
Nah, I think in some interactions, I think it depends on how you met that person, where you are in your life, and then the flow of the conversation. And depending on all of that, at least when I approach somebody, all of those things come into play. Because then during that first interaction, I may wonder like, yo, what are you looking for? And I've been asked in the first interaction, what am I looking for? Now, it's not the first question, you know what I mean? It's like you're talking.
It happens casually.
But yeah, I don't know. It's happened a lot of times. I
had a girl tell me one time, this was actually at the birthday party we had at the spot.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, and the first thing she said out her mouth when she saw me was like, "You're a hoe."
Damn.
You know, and it was just like, I'm like, what? And she's like, I just see you talking to all these women. I'm like, yeah, but you don't even know me. Like, if you got to know me, you know I'm an intentional dater. And I asked these questions. So then she asked me, what is it that she said, are you looking for anything? I said, I'm single. And so, yes, I'm looking to find someone I can build something with.
Right.
And even if you don't use the terminology looking for my wife, right? And it's still someone I can build something with. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be the terminology marriage or, you know, my wife, a long-term partner. You know, I'm looking for something serious. It's the same thing.
Right.
Could it be that me and you are building together, and in year 2, I realized like, that's not it.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Of course.
That's true.
1,000%. 1,000%.
So if could it be year 3?
1,000%.
It is it.
Yes. 1,000%.
So it goes back to the number. Peter has to quantify what.
But I see, that's what I wanted to say. It doesn't have to be a magic number.
Yeah.
I think it does, depending on the age.
At the age, I think
because like when we said 29, if you're 22 or 18, you got a lot more. You got more time.
Yeah.
But I mean, 29.
I think you just got to have a feel for the relationship and see where it's going.
Exactly.
And you kind of got to poke it a little bit. Like, hey, are we doing? What are we doing with this?
Because if you do it like what you're saying, right? What happens when you're 35 and single? When you meet that person, do you have to get married and have a kid within a year? Because you barely know that person.
If you're a woman or a man.
If you're a woman.
If you're a woman and you meet someone at 35.
You meet somebody at 35. Do you get married and have kids with that person within a year?
You better hurry up.
But I'm saying that's why. That's all
I'm saying. Hurry up.
I got you, and I don't disagree with don't waste your time. I completely agree.
You're already
with
fucked up.
But I agree. I ain't say that. Now I agree with don't waste your time. But logically, within a year, you don't. How you know that person? You don't really know that person. You can't put a hard number on it.
They also do say
it's a quality.
They
of time.
also do say that you never know your soulmate. For 40 years, you could be with somebody and you learn something about them every day.
I'm not even talking about soulmate.
So this is what I'm just saying. What I would say is this: you just have to gauge where you're at in your relationship.
Yes, gauge is the right word.
You can't put a number on it.
You can't put a number on it.
You have to, man.
You have to gauge where you're at. And I think that women have to also be more assertive as it pertains to, you know,
so the
what
reason
you need and what you look for.
A man might not put a number on it, right? A woman needs.
I don't think a woman needs to. I just think that she needs to be able to gauge where she's at in the relationship.
Depending on her age, she has to put a number to it.
Because then you can make a.
You're full of shit. If you say she can't put. She doesn't put a number on it.
So let me give you an example. She started at 29. She's with a guy for 2 years. He doesn't marry her. Now she's 31. She's with another guy for 2 years. He doesn't marry her. Now she's 33. Another guy for 2 years. He doesn't marry her. Now she's 35. At what point you can't put a number on it because the number doesn't mean shit.
Like, do you marry the first person?
She's still with one nigga for maybe if the first guy at 29, if she stayed an extra 6 months, he might have been ready to marry her. I just think that you have to be able to gauge where you are in your relationship, and you got to be able to make sure that you're going down the direction that you're looking for.
2 years, and you can't tell if you want to marry the person?
Some men don't be knowing.
In 2 years, hey, bitch, leave him.
I ain't gonna lie though.
Leave him.
I think I get what your point is, but I don't think there's a real number that you can put on it.
In 2 years, he doesn't know if he wants to marry you?
I think
Do y'all think there's a number that's too small?
Like, no.
Yes, I do.
That Love is Blind TV show where they get married in like a week or two?
No, because some of them shits last.
I think it's like a month. Yeah.
No, some of them shits last though. That's really the funny part about it. I think if you get
Season 1, they had people last. Season 2, none of them lasted. And then they got the Season 3 now.
Season 1 was Jerry Holmes.
The white girl, the black girl, and the white man.
Laura.
They lasted.
What's her name? Lauren?
Laura.
You saw that black girl, the skinny?
Yeah. She's still married.
I'm mad, and I'm pissed the fuck off.
In Season 2, none of them, not one marriage lasted from Season 2.
Yeah.
None of them. But Season 1, they got some people that it actually worked.
One couple.
Oh, only one of Season 1 worked?
But also,
the other ones fell?
See, the issue was also that they were meeting
so
each other blindly.
In 2 seasons, they only had one
Peter,
successful relationship.
Listen. We're superficial people. At the end of the day, these were people they met blindly. You know what I'm saying? They had no input as to who they saw on the other side.
Okay, so if you take that out of the equation, if you just
if you met someone who was attractive.
Hold on, let me finish my question. If you take Love is Blind out of the equation, the regular people you know, people you've seen out through your entire life, how many couples have lasted? They met somebody in a day and got married. Who does that?
The TV show.
We're not saying a day. Was that the
Alright, so then
was
a
it
month.
under a year?
It's like
Like
a month.
It's under a year. I can see that happening. There's 2 relationships that we know of that, and I'm not gonna say who because it's not our business. But
Under a year, okay.
there's 2 relationships that have been proposed to in under a year.
And out of
And they're still working, and they're still happy relationships, still married to the day.
Right, and I'm not saying that it does not exist. I'm saying how often does that happen? How real is that?
It's not likely.
It's not likely at all. So I wouldn't. That's what. So I wouldn't tell somebody. Yeah, you met somebody under a year for sure.
Is there a specific number of years?
No,
that you can say that.
No.
Make it any better?
It's
No.
a quality of time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a quality of
But
time.
I'm saying if a woman's been with a man for 2 years and you two don't know that you want to head toward marriage, she has to for herself cut it off.
I think you have to gauge that quality of time.
That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
Gauging.
You gotta gauge that. Yeah, and I agree with you.
I could meet someone in 6 months and be like, I know I could marry this woman. Simple. And maybe we've spent, and that's why I always say, even with dating, people be like, oh, I always tell women this: if you've been talking to the guy for 2 months and you ain't got no title on it, I always be like, listen, bounce. Because
2 months.
Yeah, because I feel like depending on the amount of time you're putting into your relationship, and this is why I say I believe in dating exclusively. So if I'm dating someone and we're talking every day, we're building that rapport, she's not talking to anybody else, I'm not talking to anybody else, we're focused on each other, I'm going to learn her faster in 2 months than it would have taken me if I was dating 4 or 5 women in an entire year.
Sure.
We're gonna have longer, instead of being on the phone with her for 5 minutes out of the day because I gotta hang up and go on a date with this other girl. We're investing maybe 2-3 hours a day in just having conversation. That type of time, you don't get that nowadays in relationships. The average person, if you're talking to 4 girls at the same time, you're probably giving them 15 minutes a day in conversation. Most of that shit is just texting. But when you're dating one person at a time, I can see you a lot faster. I can figure out your red flags a lot faster than if I was dating 4 other women at the same time.
Right.
So if I give that, if I approach dating that way, and in 2 months is the equivalent of almost a fucking year.
Right. I think it is better to do one at a time, but I do know someone who dated several people at once, and she got a good marriage. I think her marriage is good. She's married.
We don't know until you know, but yeah, I hope so.
How long she been married? Do you know roughly?
2-3 years.
2-3. Okay.
Still soon.
It don't really matter because it's still in the minority. It's still in the minority.
Yeah, that's what I say too.
I do believe there's a minimum amount of time
Go ahead, what's the minimum?
for a relationship to develop before you can propose to someone.
How much time is that minimum?
Bare minimum is a year.
I would agree, bro.
But there are exceptions to the rule.
Bare minimum. Bare minimum.
You said no?
No, of course there's exceptions to rules.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. But bare minimum, generally a year.
To spend the rest of your life, a year is fine.
Least,
yeah, I agree.
At least. But and then again,
I really feel it's more than that. Like,
I think it's
more is safer.
1 year is much safer.
1 year is minimum.
Because bro, things change. Now, okay. So I just sent a clip or a link, right? I don't know if you could play that and see if you could play that.
But
so yes, I think when you're older, you're more knowing yourself. You're more into your career. You're more focused. You have the more resources. So I think the quality of time it condenses. It's different when you meet somebody at 35. It's way different than meeting somebody at 25. At least when I think back when I was 25, I'm more ready now to be married.
Questions.
All right, go ahead.
All right, yeah, I'll play it for you right now.
Go ahead.
Were you finna say something?
I was saying I'm more ready to be married now than I was at 25.
How old are you?
36.
Okay, you just said 35. All right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I'm 36. So it would have been a long time if when I met you at 25 before we got married. Now, so I'm thinking hypothetically it'd probably be way less because I'm way more ready now.
6 months.
No, man. Even then. But play. Yeah, go ahead, play that.
All right.
Y'all need to sit down and go on a whole lot of dates. What's your name? Is that your real name? Do you have your daddy's name? When can I meet your daddy? Is your dad and mama together? How do you act when you get mad? Do you throw things? Do you cuss around? Do you beat up on people? I need to know, do you have a job? Where do you work at? How much money do you make? How long you been working there? Do you have a bank account? How is your credit? Can I see your credit score? Do you have a house? Or you live in an apartment? Do you pay for your gas in your car? Do you live with your mama and them? I need to understand what you're doing. What you like to eat? Do you plan on being fine like that all your life? Or you plan on getting big? How many children do you want to have? Will you get upset if we don't have no kids?
Yeah, yeah.
Keep it playing.
You plan on having an inheritance? Do you have insurance? Can you pay for your funeral if you were to die today?
That's Creflo Dollar.
Yep.
Creflo Dollar.
You need to know who you marry. And don't you dare get married to somebody talking about, I've never seen him angry since I met him. It is not time to marry that person. You need to see how he look. And you need to ask that woman, how you look without your makeup? Don't put none on tomorrow. I need to see.
Don't put none on tomorrow. Damn.
The hair you got on your head, is that yours? Or did you purchase it? And if you purchase it, is it paid for? Or are you in debt? I need to know.
Okay.
Nah, he just being funny.
But, you know, I hate when pastors do this because none of that in the Bible. But the point what I love about this clip so much is all 40 questions he asks, you can't answer them in under a year.
Exactly, 1,000%.
Them in 2.
Exactly.
Well, actually, I think you can. However,
it's man.
I feel like that's a 1 week conversation.
Nah, no, it's not.
All of that in 1 week.
Well, no. I'm talking
That's
shit.
an investigation, nigga.
That's what the fuck he just did.
But it's not just questions.
That's an interrogation.
It's also seeing that person when they're mad. Like it's life experiences. I gotta have some. We gotta go through something before we get married.
Perfect. Now, okay, when you're dating somebody, how long does that honeymoon phase last? When it's everything's beautiful,
a year to 2, 1 or 2.
I say 6 months.
Let's say 6 months, right?
All right.
When are you gonna see them when they're angry?
Yeah.
Or they're frustrated, or they try to get a promotion, they got passed over, and they bring that frustration on you, and how they deal with their emotions.
Yes.
You don't see this in 6 months.
You don't.
It don't matter if you're 45.
That's true. 1,000%. I agree.
You could be brilliant. You already making all your money. You got your house, your job, your car, kids, whatever you got. You're not gonna see that in 6 months, even if you're 40 years old.
When life happens and you get to see
but I
how
think that's where you. This is what I say. I think when you have an idea of a person's character, you can kind of. I don't want to say guess, but kind of like predict how they would move in a certain.
Nah, you don't. No idea of it. You want to know it.
When life happens and you get to see that person in real time, that makes a big difference in your decision on whether you want to be with that person or not.
I get it. I mean, I understand that. Like, I'm gonna argue that.
And people change. People like old
hoes ain't changing, bro. Them just 35 plus, they stuck in their ways.
No, they're not. No, they are not. They are not. And after this podcast, I'm gonna show you an example of them not. Of them not.
Keep that off.
Yeah, I gotta keep this one off.
But it's because we all change. I'm the same person you was 10 years ago, totally different from now.
Completely.
Moving forward. So like that's why when, if anybody I know, like, man, I'm thinking about marrying, I'm like, bro, marry her. What time is it? What's the day?
Yeah.
Come on now, give her some time.
You got to give her some time.
Show you. I mean,
but they ain't got time. If they around the same age as you, they ain't got time.
But you can't. You just don't put a hard number on it because you put a hard number on it. You're statistically.
I would never put a hard number on it.
Statistically, you're just putting yourself in danger.
Yeah, because you're rushing the process. I just think that you get what you put in. That's what I would leave it at.
I like that.
I think that's fair.
I like that.
You put in sperm, you get a child?
Yes.
So what you put in, you get.
Yes.
What you get, you put in.
That's the birds and the bees.
If I put in man hours and time and spend a lot of time with you, trips, vacations, all that, and I can figure the person out sooner than later, shit. Absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully, y'all have enough life experience together where, because man, you might not. What happens when you get fired?
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, what happens when you can't take her to Tiffany and Co's anymore? I don't even know if Tiffany and Co's is an actual place or you just buy it. Okay, cool. So, but what happens? You was with that 300,000 chick. What would have happened if you would have lost your income?
Oh, she would have held me down straight up.
Hope. Yeah, you think that?
No, I know she would have. She came from there. That was her previous relationship. I could shit on her as much as I want to. One thing about her, I was never in that situation with her, but she was previously married in that situation. Where
Don't mean she'll do it again.
Nah, I don't think she wouldn't have though.
I mean, yeah, but we're guessing. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, that's everything in life is a guess.
It's a guess. That's true.
Agreed.
You been in that motherfucker for 5 years and it's still a guess.
That's true.
Have some kind of baseline to it.
Yeah. Some evidence.
Had I stopped working, I'd do offer it. If it came down to, hey, I need this and that, I should have took care of me.
Okay. I mean, that's good. That's always my thing. Like, it took me 7 years, so I'm not the one to. Don't go by me.
Yeah,
but you was different. But 7 years minus your age.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Those were college years.
First 4.
Yeah.
No way.
And for the people who on the earlier parts, being honest with you is not being mean. You got to hear the truth somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Peter's apologizing.
I ain't apologizing for shit. Y'all need to hear the truth. Don't fucking waste your time.
One thing I want to ask you, Peter, you said that I just remember just now when you was talking, and we can wrap up after this. Was like, he was like some, and they all overweight.
Yeah, a lot of the young ladies are overweight.
Oh my god!
That's what I wanted to get. What is overweight to you?
Overweight to me is maybe 20, 30, definitely 20, 30 pounds over what you should be. It's overweight.
What you should be based on
the BMI.
The BMI, your height.
Yeah,
which was created
body
by
mass index.
Yeah, go ahead.
The body mass index.
Created by who though? Who made the body mass index?
I gotta look on Wikipedia.
I have no idea. That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't think they took into account black people.
Why?
You think black people weight is different than other people weight?
Yes, we have ass and titties.
Wow.
What?
Black women have more curves.
And white people don't have ass and titties?
No, they don't. That's why we all went over crazy over Iggy Azalea, whatever her name is, because she was the first white woman we saw with ass and titty.
Wow.
I think our bodies are not structured. The BMI was not structured for black
BMI
women.
was made by Adolfo Quitlet. Since you want to know,
I mean, white man.
Who gives a fuck if he's white or black?
He was not. That doesn't. Listen, our body types are different. You cannot compare the two.
I put it in our group there, the BMIs. But the problem I asked you people with BMI, like technically, let's say a person who is 5'7" and 150.
Wait. You got to say the sex. It's different from.
We're all overweight according to the BMI, bro.
Sex. It's gender neutral.
No, men and women aren't the same height and weight on BMI.
That's true.
Yes, they are.
No, let me look it up. Go ahead.
We would all be overweight according to the BMI.
Yes. If you 5'9" and you weigh 160, you're overweight. That's impossible.
Yeah.
He's also talking about a world where these niggas ain't eat, or the type of shit we're eating now in our bodies.
It goes underweight. It has normal weight. It has overweight and obesity, and it's by how much % of fat is on your body. Normal weight is 18.5% to 25% body.
But it's the same for men and women.
When you go from overweight is 25 to 30, and obesity is over 30% body fat.
Is it the same for men and women?
This chart.
Yes, it's men and women. It's standardized. So if you 5'7", 160, you overweight.
So they go by your height and weight and your body mass, how much fat you have.
You keep trying to say the same thing.
But what's your question? What's your point?
It's the same for men and women.
But my point is still when you're fat, or they call it overweight or obesity, right? Obesity, more than 30% body fat, you're obese, you're fat. I can call it fat, you can call it obese, or you can call it overweight at 25 to 30.
Gotcha. The only point I'm trying to make is like this right here, 5'7", 160 can be an overweight, is inaccurate. It's not right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I do believe that black women have a higher, they have ass, they have, proportion, shapes, curves, which
absolutely
adds their weight. But I would have seen most of these women that we were saying offline that are overweight. I'm like, no way.
I think the problem is overweight is so broad, bro. It doesn't mean
it's not broad. It's from 25%.
Man,
no. So it's like it doesn't make you look unattractive because you're overweight by this number.
That's true.
I think
so. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, clearly, right? But some people are fat. Can y'all just acknowledge that?
Lizzo is fat.
Some people, a lot of people are fat.
Nigga,
actually,
you go all the way to Lizzo. Is there anything less than Lizzo that is still fat?
Yes.
Why you gotta go to Lizzo?
Because she's fat.
Goddamn, nigga.
That's the only woman I can call fat.
That's not the only woman.
Would you call Megan Good fat? I mean, no, not Megan Good. Megan Thee Stallion.
Good is not fat.
Megan Thee Stallion. Peter, look her up. I guarantee he said she's fat.
Just give me a moment, please.
No way.
We showed him a picture of somebody smaller than her. He said she's fat.
Yeah, you know what? I think we saying fat is not just a number. It's a look.
No,
Peter. I think we're the three of us.
She's overweight.
Right.
Who, Megan Thee Stallion?
Yeah, she's overweight.
No, bro.
Maybe. Are you saying overweight that makes her unattractive?
For me, when people keep gaining weight, that does become less.
Is Megan Thee Stallion unattractive?
She ain't attractive to me.
Because she's overweight.
Because I don't like. Look at this fucking picture. That's not pretty.
Look at her whole entire body, bro. That's the whole point of the picture. You looking at face shots.
That's not pretty to me. I don't like that. Look at that shit. She looks weird.
Overweight women, most all for you, I don't know, are
that's like
unattractive.
90% of
like I
people.
said, the more weight they gain, the less attractive they become. Yes.
But you can't.
What's the baseline, Peter?
Nigga, baseline overweight is 25 to 30.
So at 25,
obesity is 30% and more body fat. So 25, that's a lot.
For you, 25% body fat is unattractive.
30%, I guarantee, is fucking unattractive to me. 30%. Obesity is unattractive.
Period.
Is unattractive. Now we go to overweight, 25 to 30. I don't know, some people it looks nice, right? You say some of them looks nice. I don't want no big bitch. Shit. I don't want no fucking horse. Y'all niggas, y'all like these big bitches.
No, do you understand that
I don't want 30%
the
and
average
over.
woman is probably giving you between 25 to 30% body fat?
All right, average has changed, right?
It's not. It might be higher than that.
Watch Soul Train from back in the day.
True.
Watch. Average has changed.
That's true.
Right?
I agree with you, Peter.
People are getting bigger, so it's a newer average. It's a different average.
I agree.
That's true. That's a fact. That's just a fact. That's a fact.
They're getting bigger. They got their graduate degrees. They can go to the restaurants on their own.
So Peter was born in the wrong era, pretty much.
They go to the restaurant whenever they want.
Peter wanted to date a 14-year-old
They don't exercise.
Flat chest and all that.
But the question we didn't answer earlier, this is before we got on. Like, I still want to. Who's that?
Is that Megan Thee Stallion?
No, that's not.
She's overweight. I ain't say she looked bad. I said she's overweight.
Is this who's that? That's
Kendra G.
Kendra G. Okay, I know that.
I don't know who she is.
She's like a radio person.
Yeah, radio personnel. Is she fat?
No.
Fat? Yes. I mean, she's overweight. She's overweight.
So you wouldn't date her?
She's overweight.
Would you date her?
I don't know. It depends on her personality.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
She's overweight.
But she look good or no?
She looks good.
Okay. You would date her?
I don't know her.
True, that's true. Fair. Is she attractive to you physically?
Let me see another picture.
That's the question we're trying to ask, and Peter trying to run around.
That's the question we're asking. Yeah.
Based on her overweight, would you date her?
Based on her overweight, based on a goddamn picture, would you date her? So simple, right?
Duh, nigga, physically retard.
No, just forget that. Is she attractive? Is she attractive? That's it. Whether we want to get too technical here.
Yeah, is she attractive or not?
She's not mine. I wouldn't want to be with her.
Is she attractive? Yes or no?
Is she attractive? I guess someone can find her attractive. Yes.
Do you find her attractive?
I just said I wouldn't want to be with her.
All right, okay, my fault. Do you find her attractive? I'm not asking if you want to be with her. Do you find her?
She's okay. She's okay.
I would date Kendra G in a heartbeat.
She's okay.
Body style. It's not even her. Just her body style. That's my type. Thick and voluptuous. I mean, Peter likes pencils. I don't know. That's what that BMI bullshit is. You can't.
BMI bullshit.
That was created then. That was created then, and it never applied.
We all agreed that women women are getting bigger. We all just agreed on that. And then you say, is that error?
Men and women.
Then you say, is that error? But you just said,
no. Everybody is getting.
Everybody's
bigger.
getting.
Everybody's getting bigger.
Everybody is.
That's a fact. Everybody's getting bigger.
Men and women, Peter.
Yeah,
no.
What?
Kevin Samuels.
Oh, shut up.
Let's say how the guys are maintaining their weights. The women are gaining weight on average. Guys are maintaining their weights from decades ago. Women are gaining weight.
When I see a picture of my dad back in the day, he was skinny. He was super skinny.
No,
all our dads.
I'm talking about errors. I'm not just talking about my dad. Yeah, I could look at a picture of my dad skinny.
Yeah, you're talking about like generational decades.
Yeah.
I think as a whole, people have gotten bigger. The type of shit we eat in our food makes us bigger.
We getting bigger, bro.
Like
41% of America is obese.
That's a lot.
Yes.
41%.
That's almost everybody you see.
That's everybody.
That's a lot. That's a problem also.
It is sure, yeah.
But then that's why the beauty standard has to reflect that nowadays, though.
I mean, like, was it a Nike commercial and they had the fat girl, the black woman was the fat, everybody in the gym in shape. The only person out of shape in the gym is a fat black woman.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That shit didn't make no sense to me. I mean, you marketing because the black girls are big now, but
Whoa.
they are.
Chill out, Peter. Chill
They
out.
are. Jesus Christ! I can't fucking tell you guys the
I
truth.
think that might be a fact.
Y'all niggas get offended at
That black girls are fat.
Bigger, I think, like comparatively to other races. I think so.
Yeah, they getting BBLs though. That's why too.
Nah.
Nigga, you got an excuse for everything. You
They
look
get
like a
BBLs.
suck up, nigga.
They getting BBLs
Suck
though.
up.
That's too
I'm
funny.
not looking at black women obesity rate, but you might be right. Go
That what?
Go ahead.
No,
what?
I think it's probably true. I think it's probably true. I just think what we're missing is
It's true.
it is okay.
That what?
African American women have the highest rates of obesity or being overweight compared to other groups in the United States.
Okay, what about African American men?
We're talking about women.
Okay, true. But why only women?
Yeah, it might be true for
Why
everybody.
only women?
I think
Jesus
it's true for
Christ.
everybody.
He just said
Look over
compared
time.
to everyone else,
Okay. So
and
do it
now
based
you're
on
saying
time frame, like from the beginning, the inception of I don't know the
BMI that you don't like.
up until where we are now. You know, people overall have gotten bigger.
Yeah, people
Well, he just said 41% of the country is obese.
And what was
I'm
it-
sure it
what was it
wasn't
back in-
always 41.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh yeah, that's all increased.
yeah, it always increased.
That's a problem.
Hormone, man, you can't blame it all on people. I mean,
All right,
sometimes
so
it's hormones
is
in
it
the food.
But all right, we can agree that that's a problem, right? With 41% of the country
Yes, it's
being
a problem.
obese.
It's a problem.
Can you agree to that, Michael?
Yeah,
All right, finally. So it's a problem, and it's people gaining weight. The increase is bad, but then when I look at a person and I see the increase is bad, you say, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" But I don't think the increase is good. I think it's bad.
because Peter, I think based on that same logic, you're bigger than what the average man in 1931, whenever that shit was created, was.
Yeah.
was bigger too.
So the BMI, right? By BMI at 6'3", 6'4",
You're overweight.
I'm obese, not overweight. I'm supposed to be about 180 pounds,
And how much you weigh?
230. So I'm 50 pounds above.
So you're obese.
I'm clearly obese by that standard. Clearly.
And we know that's
Clearly.
That's not true.
that's incorrect, Peter. We know that. You know
Yeah,
that.
but muscle weighs more than fat also if you think of
Okay then, nigga.
But-
so that logic, that whole BMI thing is
BMI for
trash.
me, nigga, I'm an athlete, you dumbass.
It doesn't make a difference. Dick face.
If I didn't have an athletic build and the same height, same weight, not an athlete, and it's just fat.
But saying you're obese, I don't.
Bamio.
I'm listening.
Simple, right? I'm an athlete. I work out all the fucking time.
No, you don't.
But all right, whatever. You know my schedule. But if I'm still 6'4", if I'm still 230, and I'm not no muscles, if it's just fat, that's a fucking problem.
Correct.
I'm an athlete.
I agree with you.
It's different. Now, take a woman also who these women, there are a lot of women who called into Kevin Samuels, they weigh above 200.
Right.
I don't think any woman should weigh above 200. I don't know how the fuck that happens.
Right.
I'm just telling you the truth. You can fucking be offended or whatever. That's a problem.
Listening to you.
That's a problem. That's a problem. I mean, even a woman at 180, that's a problem. I don't care about your height. That's a problem.
How much is Megan Thee Stallion weigh?
She's probably
She up there.
195.
That's a
up
fucking
there.
problem.
No,
nigga.
it's not.
A woman at 180, 200, that's a
I don't
problem.
know her weight, dog.
Bamio,
listening.
I'm at 6'3", I'm supposed to be 180.
Right.
As a man. 6'3", as a man, I'm supposed to be 180.
Right.
You have no business being at 180 as a woman.
Right. I hear you.
I mean,
No
Again,
business at
This
180.
BMI, I don't think was designed for this era, number one, and also for black people. Simple.
what,
If Umar what's his name? Dr. Umar what? Johnson? If Dr. Umar Johnson would say it, you'd agree. But when I say it, when Kevin Samuels says it, you cool with it.
I'm not
when
cool
I
with
say
none of
it,
them
you
niggas
don't
say
like
it. I never liked when Kevin Samuels said this shit.
That's crazy.
to Peter's point, it says 80% of black women are overweight or obese.
That's a fucking problem.
Based on
We
the white
said
man standards.
Well, all right,
tripping
fuck
right
the
now.
standard. Well,
I'm tripping?
But when we say the increase is bad, you can agree to that. Then when we say it's 80%, then you have this weird response.
Based on the white man standards.
Who gives a fuck? It's a problem, right? Is obesity a problem? So somebody defined it, and now we have a category.
Well,
But is obesity a problem?
The problem I have with the term obesity is based on the white man standards.
All right, so if it was a black person who invented it, same numbers, right? Is it
Okay, let me give you an example. Serena Williams.
Right.
Why are you going to athletes?
No, shut the fuck up, nigga, and listen.
Why you go to athletes?
Because it doesn't matter. Based
That's a
on
fat girl.
What? You said what?
I said a fat girl, not an athlete. Why are you going to an athlete?
Oh my gosh.
What's your statement?
She's based on her BMI or whatever.
Why would you go to Serena Williams out of all the fucking people he could choose?
That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
What a dumb fucking example.
No, that's not a dumb example.
Yes, it is.
It's a very common sense example.
And you talk about me.
Based on her weight, Peter.
What a dumbass
Based
example.
on her weight, based on her height, she would be considered overweight.
Correct.
That's facts.
So shut the fuck up, dumbass.
But wait, hold on. So
what a dumb example.
I want to understand
all the tennis players you can name. You go to Serena.
That's the whole point. She's still considered overweight.
Is it just is it just weight? Is it just weight or is it
it's height and weight? It's height and weight.
Height and weight. That's my point.
So it doesn't matter your muscle to fat ratio. So it doesn't matter if you 2% body fat.
That's exactly my point.
Got you.
Yeah,
okay.
but we can clearly understand.
That's why he's mad.
Like I told you,
he's mad.
I'm obese by the standard, right? I understand that. But if I wasn't an athlete, if I was still 6'4", 230, but it's fat instead of muscle,
right?
That's a fucking problem.
That's a hypothetical.
All right, so that's why
a problem.
That's why I said I think that when you say somebody's overweight, it's too broad because it includes a lot of different things.
Right. That's the common sense thing we understand here.
And that's why I was saying earlier, we're not talking. The three of us aren't literally talking about numbers. We're just talking about a look. Because somebody, it's like yes, by your numbers you are obese, you're overweight. Yes. But your look, it's like, oh no, I'm not gonna call you a fat person just based off of your numbers. And you got to be round.
That's what he's doing.
You got to be round. Like I won't look at you and be like, you're obese, even though I know the numbers. You see what I'm saying?
Obese.
I said by the BMI chart.
That's the whole point.
Right. So we're applying the same logic to women. Now we're not talking about muscles. I think if I understand you guys correctly, it's just a look. We're not talking about numbers. It's a look.
A look.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's what I think we're like.
I hear you.
Like technically by that chart, you're obese, but we know you're not an obese person.
Right.
So like when you see a person, let's say Megan Thee Stallion, Serena Williams,
I wouldn't call them fat. Yeah, they're not. They're obviously not fat.
No.
Yeah.
They're obviously not fat. So if they were,
but those aren't. See, that's when I say that's a bad example. When
because
you go to Serena.
they're extremes. Also, they're extremes.
That's not a good example.
Even off mic when we were showing pictures of people that we knew locally, you were like,
oh, she's fat. No.
Oh, she can't be.
Because then when you compare her to some really round motherfuckers, it's like there's a difference.
There's a difference.
So we all understood and said that people are getting bigger over time in the country. The obesity rate at 41%.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
And we all said that's a problem, and it's increasing, and it's a problem.
Correct.
But then when I say the opposite is good, you say. You go to an extreme example instead of just going to the general.
The opposite. What is the opposite?
So if it's bad that people are increasing in weight,
yes,
as time with the country, the opposite will be people going back to a weight that's better, not an increase. Wherever it's good, right? Whatever number that is for their height and weight,
sure,
right? So if that's good, and I say that's what I think is good, why do you say Serena Williams or some dumbass example?
That wasn't dumb. You're not catching on to it. You're too black and white.
It's a stupid example.
No. It's not at all.
It's clearly a stupid example.
What I'm saying. Obesity is bad, yes, but we're also saying that the obesity, overweight, we're talking about like an attraction level. You're saying if you're overweight, you're unattractive.
I said the more a woman gains weight is more unattractive for me.
Okay.
When they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and even like when you say your dad, I've seen pictures of my dad when he was younger.
Right.
I've seen pictures of my mom when she was younger.
Right.
I understand they might gain weight as they age.
Right.
And I see some of these young ladies, they're already big. They're not my parents' size at that age.
Right.
They're my parents' ages now in their 50s and 60s. At a 20-year-old age.
Right. I get.
They're already big, as if they've lived their lives. No children.
That's funny.
No children. They're already there.
Peter, is that a bad thing?
Yes, that's bad because they still might gain the weight like my parents did. And my parents at least started in the 150s. These bitches are starting at 200.
So pretty much you're saying them being obese is unhealthy, which makes them unattractive to you.
Yeah, and me, for how I think, I say, okay, this is their starting point. They might not even. They haven't shown a sign to maintain a weight in 10 years. Why are they going to start today?
You're too numerical.
So I'm saying they're already here. They're already at 180. When at this age, my mom might have been 140. They're already 40 pounds, 50 pounds heavier.
Right.
At the same age. without the children yet. Some of them don't even have kids yet.
I hear you.
So you bring on 1 child, 2, 3 children possibly, and women gain weight with each pregnancy. Sometimes they take it off, sometimes they don't. Let's say they even gain 10 pounds per pregnancy, right? On average, you lose 1 pound of muscle and gain 1.5 pound of fat per year. Just that statistic, the average.
Sure.
You losing 1 pound of muscle on average, not athletes, right? Not Serena Williams, no dumbass example. You lose, on average, you lose 1 pound of muscle and gain 1.5 pounds of fat per year. So even do that over 20 years. You lost 20 pounds of muscle and gained 20. That's
a lot.
Yeah, right?
That's a lot.
Now they're already starting at a bad point compared to previous generations.
Right.
And I'm just saying the average. I'm not even saying people who beat the average.
Right.
Just on average, that's a change.
So your thing is the unhealthiness of it all is what you don't find attractive.
The unhealthiness, and it doesn't look good.
Right. It's just
it doesn't look good, and it's unhealthy. And then I still think about, damn, they're still young.
And I think that's what
they're going to age and get worse.
Maybe that's where we disagree. We don't think it doesn't look good.
Well,
that's the problem.
But you don't. Do you consider the aging part, and they're probably going to get bigger? You don't even think about that.
I can extrapolate how you look now. Your thickness, I'm attracted to. I anticipate you're going to get bigger, obviously. And
you don't think it's going to look bad?
No.
As they keep gaining weight,
it might go to the ass.
It looks good. All right. So as they keep gaining weight and they already start high, that looks good to you?
Yes, Peter.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we're just different.
Yeah, right.
Because the Wonder Woman we're talking about is not as big as
Peter's talking like he's making them out to be.
Yeah, they're totally fine. They're maybe thick, they got big butt, big thighs, maybe.
Right.
That is attractive. Yes, boom, that right there. You're gonna get bigger. Obviously, all human beings do.
Even if you add on 10 pounds per pregnancy, she still has room to grow.
What room, bitch? She's already grown. Dumbass. She's already grown.
Titties. Like
she's already grown.
No, it depends on.
Nigga, you be making excuses.
It depends on where it's going to.
You're a suck up.
No, if you want to date a 14-year-old looking boy, then that's okay. But I think most
men his examples: a 14-year-old boy and Serena Williams. Those are his examples. And I'm talking about the general obesity
based on
rate.
what you described, that was a 14-year-old boy, flat-chested, no ass, no body, didn't even hit puberty yet. As the black woman at the age of
Serena Williams and a 14-year-old boy are his examples.
Because you're very extreme, Peter. That's why.
How are you calling me extreme? You talk about Serena Williams and a 14-year-old boy, and I'm talking about the general obesity.
Let's stop.
This is all based on the pictures we saw. So
you said 41% of the country's obese. That's a problem.
Fuck that.
But I don't understand why we agree on that, and then when I say other simple stuff, you go to the extremes and you say dumb shit.
Because I think when you bring it down to like, it's hard to explain to people who.
It's because the pictures.
You don't get it, Brain. You don't get it.
Yeah, pictures that were showing that.
All right, so how about I say some of the ladies in those pictures look good, right? Now, not all of them even have the fat in the right places. Some of them are just ugly and fat.
Right.
You want to talk about Serena Williams with a dumbass example, or the women who have the fat in the right places?
It's dumb to you because you simple-minded.
All right, and the dumb Serena and the women who have the fat in the right places. Sure. What about the women who don't, which I'm confident is the majority, who don't have the fat in the right places?
Got you.
And they're still going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. On average. Is
it possible that people can find Lizzo attractive?
Yes.
Someone can, sure.
Yes.
It's possible.
It's possible that many men can find her attractive.
Yes.
I don't know. Some and many is the same thing if you think about the word. If you think logically.
It is. Yes.
Some and many is logically the same word.
So if we post a picture,
and that's actually
if we post a picture here,
logically, some and many means the same thing.
You're absolutely
all of us are here. All three of us will raise our hand. Peter won't raise his hand. That's the majority.
What?
If we post a picture here of a female, right? That we're gonna vote on. She's attractive. She's unattractive. Or she's obese. She's not obese. Mm-hmm. What's gonna happen is the three of us will raise our hand, and Peter won't raise his hand. He won't find her attractive.
Okay.
And I think that's what makes it okay. That you have your opinion on what you think is
so
beautiful.
as the weight has increased, the perspective.
Lord,
let me speak. So your perspective is changing with the increase in weight, and mine isn't really changing.
Absolutely.
With that increase in weight. Sure. As people are getting bigger, maybe there's newer standards of beauty. Yes. Clearly there are, right?
Right.
There's newer standards of beauty, and they're putting Lizzo on magazines, which is, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's just like silly. But there's different.
His look of disgust is what's making me laugh.
I agree with him. I don't want her on magazines. I don't want people thinking that's
come
okay.
on, this
now
is
Mike
weird.
agrees.
These newer standards.
You like big girls, but that's beside the point.
Hey, if Peter don't like you, hey, I'm here.
They all know that, nigga. They all know that about you.
Shout out to me.
No, I mean, shit, like the girl in the Nike ad, she was big. But
Show me the Nike ad. I didn't see it.
You just got to see the picture.
Text it or somebody.
She was black, and then they're like, oh, why the black girl gotta be big, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, the Nike commercial, right? Oh, wasn't it like during the playoffs or something?
Potentially.
It was a Nike ad. It's a Nike ad showing the shoes, everybody running at the gym. Everybody is in shape except the one black woman. She's fat.
I'm Googling her.
It's a fat black woman who's like the only black woman there.
Fuck Nike for that one.
And I'm like, why is it that the only black woman is out of shape? Everybody else in the ad is in shape, and it's like about fitness. But for the woman, they got to show a fat black woman. That's offensive to me.
It's offensive to me.
It was a commercial. It wasn't just a picture.
Yeah, boycott Nike for that.
That's pandering, or this is it wasn't just a picture. It was a commercial.
This is not her.
But it's either pandering to black women who aren't getting in shape, or it's just, to me, it's offensive. Like, everybody else in the commercial was in shape. It's talking about fitness.
Well, black women don't run though. I will say that.
Oh my God, nigga, that's worse than anything I've ever said.
That's crazy.
I apologize. Don't apologize. It was a joke.
Mike took the new crown from me.
No, it was a joke though.
Black women don't run. They walk.
It was a joke. I love black women. Everything about them. All their curves. Them being obese.
They heard
I love them. Nigga, that's all.
They heard you 10 seconds ago.
That's the only thing I date is black women.
Black women
I love
don't
everything
run.
about them.
I agree.
Except to the dinner table.
Whoa, Peter.
Come on now.
Them bitches don't run to the gym, I tell you that much.
I can't find this girl, but I wish I could. But I mean, all in all,
that's funny.
What I would say is, don't be offended. Just try to be understanding. Or I understand that China's changing and these visions of beauty. I understand it's happening. I'm not changing with the standards. I understand the standards are changing.
Right.
I'm not changing with it.
Right.
But I know it's happening. I still see the glass is half empty, not half full, and that's just me.
Hey.
And you're entitled to it.
For sure.
Because we're shameless goats.
Yeah, we the shameless goats, man. Good to see y'all.